Bayou Ford has the inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today. Or let Bayou Ford help you customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery. Visit BayouFord.com to shop or schedule a same-day appointment with our service department just off I-10 on Belterre and LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Drive a cooler, safer, and more stylish car with Platinum Window Tint, the window tinting experts for any vehicle. They back their work with a lifetime warranty and are offering $50 off ceramic tinting this spring. Visit Platinum Window Tint online at PlatinumWindowTintLLC.com. Quality Sod simply wants to supply you with the healthiest, weed and pest-free, easiest to install grass sod. Large or small quantities, we want to help you select the right grass for your project. Pick up or delivery 225-610-4842 or QualitySod.com.
Hey Tiger fans, this is Ben McDonald with First South Farm Credit. When you're buying or refinancing land, it's important to go with a lender who has experience in financing rural land. That's why I went with First South when I bought my property. And with flexible terms up to 30 years and competitive rates, they can build a loan package that's right for you. Visit them online at firstsouthland.com or stop by one of their branches. Have a cup of coffee and find out why First South is your first call for financing land. firstsouthland.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Thursday, March 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 81. In hour one of today's show, we'll recap LSU baseball's big win over Southeastern and LSU basketball's loss to the Arkansas Razorbacks. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yeah, I agree. I want to sweat so hard too, Alondra. Bring on the hot weather.
Bring it on.
I only care about cold during the holiday season.
I want to be so hot that I can't even breathe.
I want to be, I want to feel like I'm on the edge of having a heart attack.
Right.
That's how hot. That's how I like to operate.
I want it to feel like I'm about to pass out because I'm so hot.
Like when the entire earth feels like a sauna.
Yeah.
I mean, who needs to pay to go to the sauna when you can just live in Louisiana?
Right.
In all seriousness, I am ready for the hot weather. I like it.
So you enjoy being out there on the Ponderosa, running 110, seeing black spots and wondering which one do I stare at?
I ain't got to run 110 zone anymore, dog. Now, while I like the hot weather, it's like...
You sit outside of the margarita.
Well, yeah. Well, it's like you go, let's say, you just go do like some light fun tennis or maybe just go for a walk. And yet, you end up covered in sweat. So you're like, damn, okay, I worked hard. I feel, okay, yeah, let's go get a margarita. Exactly, dude.
Hell yeah.
Short season. Sky's out, thighs out.
You wearing shorts right now?
Sun's out, buns out. Am I wearing shorts right now?
Oh, let's go.
Look at these thighs.
You've had shorts on all week, right?
Yeah, all week.
What in the dad socks are those?
Oh, I don't know.
Dad socks on. Yeah, you kind of do got dad socks on.
Whoa.
Yeah. These shoes should, if you're trying to be stylish, he should only be worn in those shows. But, what are you going to do?
Not wear them, but we're here.
Welcome in. Another day of OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Alondra, Taylor hanging out with you today. And always remember, kids, there is no clock in baseball. Jay Johnson opened his press conference talking about that last night as the LSU Tigers get it done against the Lions of Southeastern. A great game, a ton to talk about, but a comeback bid for LSU as they were down to their last strike, down 2 before Bingham, Fry, and Paxton Kling find a way to retake the lead, ended up winning the game. We'll get into all of it. Jake, how you feeling today, dude?
Good. No dreams last night.
No dreams?
No dreams.
What's that in reference to?
The other day I had a dream about beating Bingville.
Oh, bro, I drank too much yesterday. My best friend came in town, and we got on the margarita train. And then I watched Shogun for a little bit, which was awesome, but it is subtitled, which is not the best after you've been drinking margaritas. You're just completely out on subtitles?
Out.
Really? Yeah. No matter what? Just hard stop?
Hard stop.
Okay. Hey,
hard
each
stop.
their own. It's Japanese, but I still think it's pretty awesome. But I'll report back after I finish the episode.
I'm looking here and I'm not looking there.
I agree with you there. I agree with you there.
I've tried every technique.
I don't love what it does to the visual composition, right? No. Because ideally, when I enjoy movies, that's one of my favorite parts are the actual visuals of it. But it's pretty. That sucks because it is pretty badass. Alondra, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling slightly under the weather, but we're gonna power through it.
Okay, right on.
But yeah, I did the baseball game last night, so fired up.
Exciting game, dude.
Oh man.
Taylor, what about you? Did you do basketball last night?
No, I watched some basketball last night. Also, T-Bob, we wrapped up Love Is Blind season 6 last night.
Hey, congrats! How was it? How's your end?
As predictable as one might think.
What about Chelsea? What happened to our girl Chelsea?
I went 3 for 3 on
Megan
the couples.
Fox.
So there were 3 couples.
What do you mean you went 3
Well,
for
there
3?
were 3 couples, and I told Victoria, I was like, no chance one of them gets married. One couple's definitely going to get married. And I was kind of 50-50 on the other, but I was leaning no, and they wound up not getting married. So your guy went 3 for 3.
Kind of sounds like you gave yourself credit on the third one. You basically said, I was like both in both silos, but I was leaning no.
I told her before, if I had to pick, I'm leaning no.
Okay. If you said that before the case, then I'll give you credit for it.
Yeah.
Was Sarah ripping ass for real?
I don't know. That was earlier in the show.
There's for some reason, these Love Is Blind memes keep coming up on my
it's all over the algorithm.
And every time I see one, I send them to Taylor.
Wait, what about
there's this girl, Sarah Ann, and they say that she was farting on live television.
That's a very tough look to have out there publicly in meme form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
there's no shaking that.
She didn't get picked in the pods.
I wonder why.
I can't imagine. Maybe it was
it was stank in there.
The overly confident flatulence that she appeared to be engaging in. Well, I'm happy for you. Glad you enjoyed Love and Blind.
Got that one out of the way.
He's probably a little sad. Southeastern graduate. Yeah. Probably a little sad this morning.
Right. Oh, you little sad boy.
Did they beat the
Lions? I could not possibly care any less.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Bad alumni.
Right.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much. Okay. You just told me that you definitely care. Yeah.
I think I was more mad this morning that I got called by the red light. I was like, dang it.
So last night, by the way, guys, Kate Anderson?
Insane.
What?
This is the third good one we've seen from him, man.
Oh my God.
He reminds me of a lefty. He reminds me of a lefty Ty Floyd.
I don't know why I was getting Tom Glavine flashbacks watching his placement last night and that breaking ball and everything, but Kate Anderson starts the game, first 7 batters, 7 Ks. Here's his final stat line. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, 13 Ks to just 2 walks for the freshman lefty, Kate Anderson. You got 4 legitimate starters on this LSU baseball team right now. And as Hunt Palmer pointed out in his weekend piece for On 3, you could even almost say 6 if you wanted to throw Ackenhausen and Coleman in there because they could legitimately start SEC games. I don't think they will on this team, but they could. It is insane the amount of starting pitching talent that you have right now.
I would say you have 5 because I think Coleman can start SEC games. Ackenhausen to me is somebody, he's so valuable. I don't know that I'd ever start him.
No, and
because
again,
he's so valuable.
I don't think you do. I'm saying.
Yeah, but he did what college was.
Hunt was just saying starting caliber. Could actually start an SEC game for a team if they needed to.
I wholeheartedly agree with him. And it was a strength. It was a strength coming into the season. It's what we talked about. Last year, the strength was the lineup, and you were wondering, would you have enough arms? And this year, it's flipped right now. The bats aren't as bad as maybe the outlook of the pitching was going into last year, but the depth of this pitching staff was the thing that got everybody excited about LSU's opportunity to try to repeat.
Yeah, and so it's already on its way. Again, though, these I don't get some of these. I mean, between Gage Jump and Cade Anderson, it's just to see them this young and with this kind of stuff and looking this advanced kind of boggles my mind. And then with Luke Holman, the way that he just places the ball wherever he wants to. Absolutely fantastic showing from Anderson last night. The Bats could not get it going, but in something that matters, I think, to me quite a bit, they find a way to get the comeback win. So they're down, 3-1 in the ninth inning, 2 outs, 2 on. I think it was first and second. Well, first off, actually, no, with only 1 on, Bingham's up to bat, and he works a full count.
Yep.
And to have the balls to sit there and force a walk, game on the line like that,
it was
not chase,
1-2,
not
I
swing.
believe.
Oh, he worked back from 1-2.
Yeah, it was 1-2. He worked back.
He
I
literally
didn't
had,
even realize that.
We were down to our last strike with Bingham.
There's no clock in baseball.
Absolutely.
So Bingham finds a way to work the count, gets back, gets the walk. Then you have Ethan Fry, he comes up with a huge hit, scores 1, pushes to second and third, and then Paxton Kling with another clutch hit immediately after, in a night in which he struggled at the plate, manages to plate the 2 winning runs for Agenhausen, comes in and shuts it down. The thing about a comeback win like this, first of the season, is I love what this says about the mental makeup of this team. Because it's real easy to not care about these games. It's maybe especially easy to not care about these midweek games when you're defending national champions, and that's never been Jay. No, for sure, right? And a great coach can infect his players with his culture, but sometimes you don't always see that, right? Like players, these are superstar players. It'd have been real easy to just say, "Hey, you know what? We pitched well, but we just didn't have it tonight. Let's pack it up and go home." And they've kept fighting. They found a way to fight and come out and to win a game like this. To me, that's the mark of a champion or a potential champion in terms of like competitive drive and just give a damn.
No quit.
It's one of the things I love most about Jay Johnson because, like, when I first moved here, everybody, I remember midweek games don't matter, and that was the conversation. Like, when I moved here in 2018, I'm like, man, y'all really care if midweek games matter or not? But, like, there's a lot of coaches that say a lot of different things about midweek games. You're not going to hear Jay Johnson say any of that. Like, if you're out there on the diamond, like, look at who he brought in, like Justin Lohr, and he brought in Gavin Guidry and Akenhausen to shut it down. Like, this game meant something to him because every one of them means something to him. Like, those are his best bullpen arms. At least we know Guidry and Akenhausen are 2 of the best.
And Lohr and Aloha.
And Lohr was in Houston. Like, he high leverage situation against ULL, right?
I was going to say, like, those are clearly the frontline arms that he trusts out of the pen.
I mean, even Fidel, like somebody that he trusts and has been consistent. So, like, that tells you he wanted to win that game, and he wants to win every single game. He's going to manage the game like it is any other game and not just say, it's a midweek game, let's do this, let's do that. No, he wants to go out there and certainly a game in state and be victorious.
And don't they do some sort of I think they have some sort of like they basically make all the midweek games into some sort of like pseudo tournament to try to keep track of it and make it super competitive and make people give a damn. But yeah, it was it's very impressive. Very impressive. And look, I think with the midweek games mattering conversation, I think that's more about like how upset should you be if you lose a midweek game. And I still don't think it's the worst thing. But again, I think a championship team, a team that has the ability to fight, to overcome adversity, to find a way, does things like that more often than not. What you saw last night, like gives a damn, finds a way to not go quietly into that night, not let Southeastern have their moment, and they play the role of spoiler on the road.
Yeah, look, and here's why like things like this do matter. Like, you're on the road, and so like when we start talking RPI, and Southeastern seems like they're going to be a much improved baseball team, like that could mean something down the road. It might not. It's not going to be a huge factor, but even if it's a small factor, like that's a road victory, and let's see how good Southeastern ends up being in the Southland.
Yeah. So a great win from LSU baseball last night. Just really fantastic. And Cade Anderson, 13 Ks in 5 innings. It was one of the more dominant performances I've ever seen. Only 2 walks. And then, look, once you see Blackwell on the mound, for that ninth, you know you're already dead. That's a joke that I don't know if anybody gets. Nate
I get it.
Ackenhausen just looks a lot like my best friend Will Blackwell. Like it's almost scary in how that works. All right. When we get back, we got to get to this LSU basketball game. Plus, there are rumors swirling about a new NFC South quarterback on the block. Could Derek Carr now be the third best quarterback in the NFC South? We'll break it down all this hour coming out of this youtube.com/1045 ESPN right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. You need windows, doors, or siding. You need Tommy's. Go to GEAUXTommys.com. That's GEAUXTommys.com. And check it out, man. When we're talking windows, we're talking both vinyl and wood windows. We do vinyl siding, hardy plank, and we do all types of doors, okay? So for your project, make Tommy's one of the bids, okay? Get a few quotes, see what's going on. Just make Tommy's one of the bids in there and let them prove to you why they are the absolute best when it comes to windows, doors, and siding.
They are the best. That's why they've won Angie's List Super Service Award every single year since 2016. Go to that website, gotommys.com, and you can see why. You can see testimonials from past clients. You can see galleries of what they can do. Windows, doors, and siding. They literally can do it all. GoTommys.com. That's GEAUXTommys.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Value Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $17,500 off new 23 1500 Bighorn trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $17,500 off new Ram 1500 trucks. All new Value vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Value Automotive is going to do right by you.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart
Charles Henniger joined me and Jimmy Ott for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar and Town Square Pizza. Joining us will be Matt Humans and Dwayne Colucci from Las Vegas. Live at Lunch, 11 a.m. weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. That was at Superior last night. Enjoying some marks, some fajitas. Again, ooh. A shrimp and steak fajita. A bite of a well-crafted fajita is a top 5 delicious bite of food in the world. I've always said that a perfect crawfish tail with a little piece of garlic and then sucking the head is another one of those excellent top 5 combo bites. Does anybody have a combo bite or just a bite of food that jumps into your mind as a top 5?
A well-made cheeseburger.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
Absolutely.
And you know immediately if it's going to hit or not.
Yeah.
It's almost like you don't even have to chew it. It's just one bite and you know.
Think about it, chat. What's your favorite singular bite of food? How do you construct your fajita? I go a line of beans first down the middle. That's going to serve as my bonding agent. Then we're getting into some rice on top of that, and then I'm going to get into my proteins: 1 shrimp, 1 steak, onions, sour cream, guac, lettuce, a little pico or salsa, whatever they got, and then a little butter sauce.
Yeah, sometimes if you get the guacamole and you spread it on the tortilla, that becomes like the bonding.
So that's your bonding agent.
That's
what I do.
The guac or the sour cream, whichever one they give you on the tortilla, then the meat.
Yeah.
Then I do like rice. A lot of places don't give you the beans.
No beans?
Rice, if they have them. Yeah, I'm saying a lot of places, if you order the fajitas,
beans.
They don't give them to you. But and then the grilled onions and bell peppers on top of that. That's last.
Wow. I always thought that beans were a must-have.
I've been to a couple where they don't have them.
Fajita. As our resident Tex-Mex expert, Alondra, how do you build your fajitas?
So, but to answer your first question, like perfect bite of food, you know, like at Chipotle, when you get the bowl and you get everything on your fork. Like when you get like the rice,
really get the burrito, but yes, when you're getting all the elements together at the same time,
I love that.
Yes, it's
I love
excellent.
Chipotle. I would
Chipotle
say
Chipotle.
Do
you have bloody underwear? No, I'm just kidding. That's from a South Park episode. Never mind.
I'm like Jake, where I do the guac. I'm gonna move on. Do the guac as the bonding agent, and then I do the meat, and then I do like the cheese and the salsa on top of that.
See, this is why I didn't really talk this stuff out. I would have never fathomed that anything but beans would be the first thing.
I don't
to go
really
in the
put
tortilla.
beans on it.
What?
Yeah,
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't either.
If anything, I'll eat them on the side.
I don't really either.
Wow.
I'll put rice on them.
I'm just making a tiny
I'll put like the Spanish rice on it, but I don't put the beans on it.
Or like I'll put my rice and my beans together.
Spanish rice? I've always called it Mexican rice.
I don't know, whatever it's called.
Same thing.
The orange rice
Latino
is what I usually call it.
That's
When I
if
I go to Izzo's or something, they have like it's like cilantro rice and then like Mexican rice. It's white and orange. I'm like, just give me the orange rice.
My friends growing up would always make me order for them at Mexican restaurants.
Never mind it. I guess, a lot of people, that first loaded bite of a nacho platter, says Half Spanish Hermana. Excellent one. But it's hard to find consistency in nachos. You know what I'm saying?
Because one chip has a ton and the other has like nothing.
One of the most varied food eating experiences in the entire world. And then too much, too little. But you're right. When you hit it perfectly, here, get a text right here. Cheese on the tortilla with hot protein so that the cheese melts, and then onions and peppers. Yeah.
Well, you just put queso instead of like shredded cheese.
Yeah, that's true. You could do that as well. I guess I don't normally put cheese on my fajitas though. Now that
I
I
do.
think about it out loud.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Last night, where I got very distracted. Where I was going with this, we were sitting there, mainly watching baseball. Basketball on as well, though, kind of watching out the corner of my eye. And it felt like one of those nights where you're just flirting with it. You're flirting with the comeback. You're right on the edge of it for a lot of the beginning of that second half. And then in the end, Arkansas, you just couldn't get it done. You gave them too many points transition. It's too many shots around the rim. Arkansas shoots 60% from the field. That's always going to be near impossible to overcome. And it's a disappointing loss, not a surprising one. Again, we said it yesterday, going into Bud Walton against an Arkansas team that is angry and is disappointed this year, coming off a back-to-back Elite 8 years. Like, this felt like a bad spot for LSU, and it proved to be a bad spot for LSU.
Now you still have the opportunity to have a 500 record in SEC play. You're going against Missouri. I think the last thing that you want to do is to end your season losing to a team that has yet to win an SEC game, and still that would be a huge accomplishment for this basketball team considering where they were. But last night was disappointing. I mean, again, you did go into the game as an underdog. I think it settled at 3.5 before tip for Arkansas. And Arkansas has not been a good basketball team. I mean, they were a team that had much higher aspirations of getting to an NCAA tournament than you did. And Musselman had the big one. Was it against, gosh, it was a blue blood. Was it Duke or Kansas? I forget who Arkansas beat. They stormed the court. I'm sure Musselman had his shirt off at some point. And so even within this season, they thought they were going to be that team, and they just haven't been, but they did look like that team for a large portion of the game last night. You said it, they shot 61% from the field. That's always going to be a bad recipe for the road team to be able to come in there and overcome that.
Taylor, so Fonz in the chat says, basketball is due to watch with so many turnovers and wasted opportunities. I think turnovers actually maybe the one place that they were okay.
So that's the only thing that you won. You look at the stat line, you had 10 turnovers, Arkansas had 15, but
wasted opportunities was definitely a theme of the night.
Arkansas blocked 10 shots last night. LSU blocked 0. And I mean, everything else, like 81% free throw for Arkansas, 69 for you. You shot 27% from 3. You shot 44% from the court. And this team has no post presence. It's weird. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. We were like, hey, Matt McMahon's best teams are guard dominant teams. It's kind of flipped now. I mean, you are guard dominant with Hannibal, with Jordan Wright, with Tyrell Ward on the wing. Between Will Baker and Hunter Dean, you got 37 minutes of action and a total of 5 points and 3 rebounds. You got solid. 5 points and 3 rebounds from your two post players in 38 minutes. That's unacceptable. You can't win games like that. And you're always like, well, why does LSU get beat on the boards every night? There's a prime example.
Well, and those teams that were guard heavy, they were playing at a different level.
Yep.
Right? You're playing at a lower level where a lot of times you want to be guard heavy. Like you go get the best guards that you can find, and that's who you recruit to. And sometimes you can't get maybe a post player, a big body to come to Murray State or wherever it might be.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you end up being guard heavy. That's why all the mid-majors in the tournament, like still.
You always have like that 1 point guard, and you're like, geez, he's averaging like 25 a game.
But now I think in the SEC, and you thought Will Baker would be that guy, you've got to get a little bit bigger. You got to get somebody inside. And so I would bet you whatever you want to bet, point of emphasis this all season is to get not only like one of those players, but multiple players up front that you can trust.
So a disappointing loss last night, but look, you turn around, you're going to come home, and you cannot let one loss turn into 2, okay? You have still far exceeded expectations. You were chosen to finish second to last in the SEC, and now you have a literal golden opportunity to finish 500 as you have 0-17 Mizzou coming to town to finish this thing off. Okay, so do not look, yes, does last night hurt? Absolutely, but it never let one loss turn into 2, okay? And isn't actually this the moment in which LSU pulled off their, second SEC win last year? Didn't they win their first game? They won
their first game in Bud Walton against a good Arkansas team, and you're like, oh, let's go. Because your only loss outside of conference, before conference play started, was the controversial Kansas State game. Remember, they make the shot, and they're like, oh, we didn't start the clock on time. So you're like, hey, LSU's rolling. They look really good, not a conference play. They win their first conference game against Arkansas. You go 0 for the rest of the way.
Kansas State was really good last year.
And then you win your last one, though. So you get 2 wins. You win your first one and your last one.
So the point is, they know firsthand what it's like to be the awful team, but end on that high note. Do not allow Mizzou to get their first win of the season in the conference. And if you do that, then you finish 9-9. You got the SC tournament, which will give you a chance to continue to finish 500. If you win one, right, then you'll probably lose one. So a lot still left. Look, still a good year, even if last night's a bit disappointing. Somebody mentioning bites of food earlier said pork chasu, soft-boiled egg, and a slurp of the ramen broth. Great answer. A little black garlic tonkatsu. Oh, yeah, dude. That's the good stuff. I would also say a great bite of sesame seed chicken with fried rice. Like kind of you ever roll the sesame seed chicken around in the fried rice? Kind of give it a little rice coating?
I usually go noodles.
I like lo mein as well. But
chow mein, lo mein, either one.
And I kind of bounce back and forth, but I generally am a fried rice man myself. All right, when we get back, a new challenger potentially entering the mix in the NFC South, and what does it mean for the Saints? Derek Carr. We'll break it down next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go to All-Star today for all of your vehicular needs. You need something new, used. You just need a rent. Okay, they got you. If you get in an accident, you need a body shop. You need just a car service. Check out the All-Star Toyota Service Center, where all makes and models are welcome. Doesn't have to be All-Star. Doesn't have to be a Toyota. All makes and models are welcome. You get free professional estimates, credible line of communications. They have factory parts right there on site. They have a shuttle service to drop you off and pick you back up, depending on what you got to do that day. And then if it's a big fix, they got rental cars ready to go, seamlessly sessions. And remember, you mentioned OTB, you get $100 towards your deductible. Also true.
Oh, go to the website today and you can buy new, you can lease, and you can rent. We tell you every single day because I think it is important that everything is available. You don't just have like 3 cars to choose from in the rental department. The full fleet is ready to go. Choose that rental today. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me, like cypress stumps. Your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
Jerry and Benny Payne
began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends.
Join me for a Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, presented by Rouse's. Luke Johnson on the Saints, Joe Healy on SEC Baseball, Chris Blair on Hoops, LSU Arkansas, LSU Southeastern. We're loaded. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
A Monday warrior, mean strike. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
The most fun concerts I've ever been to. Can you just keep it up for a second, Alondra? There's something like medieval and powerful about his voice. I don't know if I've ever seen 3 dudes rock as hard either. Just 3 dudes up there just jamming.
It's crazy to me how 3 guys can make that much noise.
That's what I'm saying. Like it feels, if you just listen to it, like it should be more.
Yeah.
But it's just like arcane trio spouting lightning and magic into the mic. Londra's freaking me out. Apparently, I'm going to read more about it so we can be, it's have it on the radar for today's show. But Brie Cheese is reportedly in trouble. Something about the fungus being asexual, you said?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. The fungus is that produces the brie cheese. They accidentally, the people that make, in France, that make the brie cheese, accidentally made them asexual because you know how, like, obviously,
hate when that happens.
selective breeding, I guess you would call it. And so, yeah, they crossbred them way too much.
So they lost all of their natural fungal horniness.
Right.
I knew this would happen, guys. I've been worried about this.
You have been on your radar for a while now.
He did mention something last week.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
It was off air, but yeah, I was worried.
I know we talked about solutions. Have you found a way to make the fungus horny again?
No, but you know, we were talking to you. Were like, Taylor, are you okay? Like, you look a little pale, like more than normal. Like, why are you sweating? And I was like, guys, it's the asexual fungus.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay,
it's hard
still
to pay
reading.
attention, honestly.
Still reading. Blue cheese may be under threat as well, but the situation.
Blue cheese is gross.
I know blue cheese is like an acquired taste that many people love. It's not for me. Blue cheese,
I'm a ranch.
Whatever,
give me ranch all day.
Dude.
You know.
I agree.
The situation's
just
much
too
worse.
overpowering.
Yeah.
Like
burgers,
I guess blue cheese, like in a wing's not awful, but like when you got
Like
the
a
blue
small
cheese
dip.
crumbles,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm out on that.
Yeah. The situation's much worse for Camembert, though. That one is on the verge of extinction.
And well, I'm guessing Camembert is brie, what we call brie.
I think it's a different one.
Okay. Either way, natural cheese of France.
It's brie and Camembert that are on the verge of being extinct.
Okay, so we'll continue to update you on the situation as we know more.
They've lost their ability to reproduce sexually, as well as its ability to produce asexual spores.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm a little out of my depth here. I've never thought about
It's
the
just very
sex drive
upsetting.
of fungus before.
Well, it ain't easy.
It's very upsetting.
Being cheesy.
Gosh.
That works on multiple levels because it, in and of itself, is cheesy.
Real quick, I am
It
disgusted.
reinforces itself.
Yeah, you said it's not, it's out of your depth. Just letting you know it's not easy.
I'm disgusted. Hunt Palmer's in our YouTube chat right now. He said, I'd eat a sock if it had blue cheese on it.
Oh, that is
Take a lap.
Well, that's but so
make it a long lap.
Right.
Blue cheese is one of those foods though where it is. I feel like it's like cilantro and some others where you either love it or you hate it. Now I don't know if it has the weird genetic thing that cilantro does, where I've heard that like for some people genetically cilantro just tastes like ash.
That's me. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't know if it tastes like ash.
Or just tastes bad.
Yeah, it don't
You
taste
like it?
right.
Yeah,
no.
I thought you were going different direction, and I was like, yeah, and you said ash, and I was like,
SH. Been working a lot on helping my daughter learn how to read. So we've been working on shiz and ch and all that kind of tough stuff.
Love
Reading
it.
hard. But yeah, blue cheese is like, it's such an acquired taste. And if you're into it, I do feel like you're going to be very into it. You know, there's no half stepping in the blue cheese game. Nobody's like, I kind of like blue cheese. Like,
Yeah,
no.
you never hear it. It's all right.
Yeah, no,
None of
it's too distinct. Which credit to it. At least blue cheese is out here being itself.
Right.
It's not following anybody else's path.
It's its own brand.
It is its own brand.
Yeah.
This is the second Snow Dogs reference in as many days. But remember Cuba Gooding Jr., he loves some blue cheese and Snow Dogs.
I never actually saw Snow Dogs. I saw the very beginning, and I vaguely remember Cisco being a dentist or maybe a dental hygienist.
Yeah,
Cisco like Thong Song?
Yes.
Yeah, it was his best friend in the movie.
In Snow Dogs.
What?
Yeah.
it's a
yeah.
good movie.
Oh,
But that's all I
man.
remember.
So he loved blue cheese in the movie, and then another
So
guy did
scandalous.
as well, and they always like competed to see who loved it more. It's very odd.
Adam Fields. In fact, I love cilantro. William Anthony. I hate cilantro. Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Can anybody tell me the band that Cisco was the lead singer of?
Cisco?
Some type of way.
Please, somebody get this.
I thought he was solo.
He was. He did
I-
become
that's what I'm
solo.
saying. I didn't know he was.
But he was the lead singer of a band before he became.
Boys to Friends.
Anybody?
The Triplex Crew.
Drew Hill.
NWA.
Drew Hill. I was right there,
You
dude.
know who Drew? Y'all don't know Drew Hill?
I know Drew Hill. I just didn't know Cisco was
I
in
feel
it.
like you're talking about Taylor's best friend from Livingston Parish. Oh, you're talking about old Drew Hill? I know Drew Hill. Yeah, bro. Come on now.
You know, I don't have a friend named Drew, actually.
Drew's good
I mean,
people.
y'all's mixtapes were
Drew's
just
good people.
lacking.
My wife made me mixtapes filled with Lil Jon and Kenny Chesney. So I don't think there was a lot of Drew Hill in there, unfortunately. DRU, now I see. Okay, so NFC South, rumors are swirling.
The chat's got my back.
Yeah, chat's got your back. For
Appreciate
sure.
y'all.
We're all a little too young for that one. I'm Drew Hill, classic. You know, look, I would recognize the song if I heard it, but like all other things, I don't know it offhand. So rumors are swirling right now. Who's going to be the New Orleans Falcons? Wow. Oh, boy. That's a bad look.
What a slip.
That's a flag. That's a flag. Who's going to be the Atlanta Falcons? Again, margaritas, guys. Who's going to be the Atlanta Falcons' next quarterback? What I was going to say is obviously that should be of a lot of interest to New Orleans Saints fans, right? Not only is that your arch rival, but in a world where once again you don't know what the Bucs are going to do at quarterback, and it's unclear what the Falcons can do. Like, you seem reasonably well positioned in the NFC South, even though we played this game all of offseason. What I don't love is the latest rumors are that Kirk Cousins to Atlanta is starting to gain a lot of steam. Diana Rossini from The Athletic was reporting on this, and I think it's actually especially relevant to our show as well, as we've had a lot of like Carr, Cousins style debates here, and it's very deeply funny to me if this move comes to pass. The Saints-Falcons rivalry is incredible from a passion standpoint, right? It's got all the hallmarks.
Yeah.
Fans absolutely hate each other on a college level, if not even deeper. You have geographically it works, right? Both in the Southeast, for a lot of times kind of like the Southeast's representatives in the NFL. It's been played forever. It's a series that isn't it basically exactly 500?
Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
Right. So it's
like
an
the
awesome
LSU
rivalry.
Florida series, same thing.
Except both teams are usually dog crap. Like, they're usually awful. Like, for their entire history, it's been the best rivalry that no one cared about, because it's normally, for long decades, it's like 2 4-8 teams doing battle, trying to go 5-9. And now, in that storied rivalry, we may get a Derek Carr versus Kirk O'Chains chapter. Let's freaking go, dude. Carr versus Kirk. Two quarterbacks that have always been like pretty damn good, but kind of not good at the same time. Schrodinger's quarterbacks, if you will. And now,
They've
Jake,
been what?
your boy, Kirko, with a chance to prove once and for all just how much better the Derek Carr is.
Are you gonna ask me which one I think is going to prevail?
No, I think Cousins is clearly the better quarterback. I think that's fair to say. But Cousins is the NFL Mendoza line, right? Where if you're better than Kirk Cousins, your fan base is probably happy with you. If you're worse than Kirk Cousins, your fan base probably wants you replaced. If you are Kirk Cousins,
I disagree with that because I do.
Fan base goes both ways.
But if he comes into the division, he's the best quarterback in the division. Like even if Baker's there, it would go Kirk Cousins, Baker. You better hope Bryce Young doesn't develop Derek Carr.
We were talking about that before the show. I was like, T-Bob, last year the division was supposed to be bad, and we're like, well, we'll give it to the Saints because they got the best quarterback in the division. We're like, now you're 3 at best.
Y'all said that.
Well, I mean, look, dude, you didn't think the Saints. You agreed that the Saints were going to likely win the division.
I thought they'd win the division. But
yeah.
Y'all know my stance
but you weren't
on
out
the
here saying
quarterback
that Baker
position.
was better than Derek.
Oh, probably not.
No, yeah.
But I thought Bryce Young would be much better.
Well, I don't know what I don't even know if you can accurately judge the Panthers. I think they have a leadership problem that trickles down from the CEO on. Right?
Well, at least Tepper's at least he's patient.
He's cool, calm, and collected in intense moments.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
He's in no way reactive or brash.
He's
or
that coach.
Impulsive.
And T-Bob, you and I, we've played long enough that we've all had this coach, and it could be in multiple sports. Like, they always get in front of the team. You going on the road, hostile environment. Hey, keep your composure. I don't want to see any of y'all. Get outside of yourself. Don't allow the crowd to affect you. And then, like 5 seconds later, the coach is the one that's affected by the crowd the most. We had a baseball coach in high school. We were going to play Barb, right? And Barb had a great, in left field, I think. Like, if you were the left fielder, which I was, like, you were going to get harassed.
Yeah.
And so, like, he made, like, I remember, because he knew I was a little bit of a hothead. He's like, hey, you can't allow him to affect you. You can't talk trash, blah, blah, blah. I mean, in like in the third inning, I look over, he's coaching third base. He's like basically in the stands yelling at people. I'm like, hold up. You sat me down for 30 minutes and you're like in this, like climbing the fence to get to somebody on the third baseline.
It's like having a fat strength coach. Like, it's like, come on, bro. You're making it real hard for me to buy into your message when you are clearly not holding yourself to the same standard that you're out here trying to hold me to.
I agree.
Anyway, if Baker Mayfield resigns, which I kind of want to talk about next time because that's a big if. Like, would you want to pay Baker $40 million? That's an awkward spot to be. But if Baker resigns and if Kirk goes to Atlanta, is Derek Carr now the third quarterback in the NFC South?
What did we say? This was like right at the end of last season, the regular season. Like, I threw out a number, and y'all thought it was way too low. I said I think 2 years, like $65 million for Baker would be somewhere, not long-term, but you got to give him some money. You got to give him a big chunk.
Yeah.
And I think you said you thought more like 3 for $90. So, like, maybe less money per year, but a longer.
I mean, if I was a fan, I'm with you. I'd rather do shorter, give him a big chunk.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. I don't want to be long-term committed. It's an awkward spot to be. We're going to respect the clock. We'll continue this conversation on the other end about Baker. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Get Gordon, get it done. 225-888-8888. 225-888-8888. Gordon McKernan, Andrew Turner. That is a lot of eights.
But,
and you'll ate a lot.
There was a way to rhyme 8 and great.
Yeah. Well, like that. You just say both words next to each other.
Yeah, but, like a much cooler way.
Yeah, it's true.
They could probably do it over at Gordon McKernan.
Because they know cool at Gordon McKernan because they stay cool, calm, and collected when accidents happen, okay? And they fight the big insurance company to get you what you deserve. So you need to protect yourself. Watch out for yourself, okay? You're going to do that with Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, 225 or whatever area code, 888-8888. Also, remember, at Get Gordon on social media. Go check out their Instagram today. Great content with a lot of your favorite athletes that are members of the G team. Great advice on what to do after you get into an accident, how best to protect yourself, what steps to take, and just a lot of kind of general life advice that I would say is pretty solid from very successful business. Get Gordon, get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best kept secret.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Thursday's AFR LSU football on the practice field. Brian Kelly meets with reporters. We'll have the update, and we'll recap LSU baseball at Southeastern and LSU basketball at Arkansas. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Got this feeling, and I just can't turn it loose. That somebody's been getting next to you.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Damn, I didn't know Drew could sing like this.
I don't know this song.
Right, keep
Drew
it playing.
Hill,
Keep
Cisco.
it playing. Idea time, guys. You play this for those fun guy?
Yes.
Should we try it?
They gon' I mean,
that's what I've been trying to tell y'all.
You ain't gonna be asexual for long.
Somebody's sleeping in my... Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Let them know, Cisco.
Someone get France on the phone.
Gotta get this brie cheese back up, baby. Back that brie up. Cheese definitely got to be one of the most spankable foods.
Yeah, especially
Just a
brie.
nice solid pop, little bit of give, not too much. Jake, is this how you feel about Kirk Cousins? Or is this more how Taylor feels about Baker Mayfield?
Baker, this is Taylor and Baker.
So would you pay to continue our conversation if you
Well,
were a
the
Bucs
song's
fan?
about, his girl having somebody else in the bed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll let Taylor decide.
I mean,
what
the Saints are
scenario
the
is.
Saints are kind of the only one that didn't commit a relationship. I guess the Panthers
Oh,
are
the
as well.
Panthers
Just
are
toxic.
the Panthers are in one.
Just toxic. But Taylor, what do you think as the resident Bucs fan of the show? It's an awkward spot to be because it's funny watching the reaction of Bucs fans, right? They love Baker. Last year was awesome. So much fun. NFC South champs, ha, screw you, Saints. And then it's like, okay, you ready to pay Baker $40 million a year? And they're like, hell no. No. Would you pay him?
I think you have to if you're the Bucs.
See, I think that's bad. I think the idea that you have to do anything is dangerous logic.
So just I get it. The Falcons will be better if they sign Kirk Cousins, but you don't want to blow up what you had. You brought back Evans, and the word was that Baker and Evans wanted to play together. The number I've seen thrown around is $25 to $30 million a year.
That's completely acceptable.
Which would be a lot better.
That'd be great.
But at the same time, it's
that's a discount.
Do you really want to go find? Because you were a couple plays away from possibly upsetting Detroit in the playoffs. You do that, anything could happen. Do you really want to blow that all up? Because NFC South, it's still up for grabs. And you can say, well, you got a new offensive coordinator. How's he going to react to that? When Baker had all that success in L.A., remember they picked him up, he went in there and he played well. Liam Cohen was the offensive coordinator.
That's true.
Who is now the offensive coordinator with the Bucs. So you have a guy that's familiar with your quarterback that's had success with him. You got your number one receiver back who had good chemistry with your quarterback. I never want to overpay for anybody, but do they have a better option than that right now?
Bro, can Baker ever just get
an offensive coordinator?
I was going to say,
2 years?
can he get the same coach 2 years in a row? Our guy has been just nobody has experienced more turnover in his NFL career and yet done pretty damn good than Baker Mayfield has in that regard.
He had Stefanski for 2 years, but it was a different offensive coordinator each year. He's never had the same offensive coordinator 2 years in a row.
Wow.
But that's what I'm saying. You get a guy that he's already worked with in a different spot. I don't know if you have a better option.
If it's 25 to 30, hell yeah. If it's 40, you say go test the market. And if somebody wants to pay you 40, Godspeed, and you have to look for options elsewhere.
You look at the quarterback draft, and it's so heavy with so many players that people think can be starting quarterbacks in the NFL. This isn't a year where you're going to have a Kenny Pickett be the only quarterback in the first round. So if you're the Bucs, you have that as leverage.
Yeah, for sure. There's some young options out there that you could go explore. And honestly, though, just because you signed Baker wouldn't preclude you from taking a shot on a young quarterback. It might actually be the ideal time to do it, as he could sit there, kind of learn at his feet for a year or two, and then eventually you have your kind of takeover. Baker's kind of the perfect stopgap sort of guy for a situation like that. But either way, Kirk Cousins maybe to Atlanta. We'll monitor the situation. Derek Carr, is he the third best quarterback in the NFC South if that happens? Probably. But my dumb brain, I'm kind of starting to get excited again, dude. Those last 6 games are pretty solid. Kubiak coming over from San Fran, meeting with AK. Meetings went well, so we'll see. We'll see where it all goes.
You think we would have heard if they would have gone bad?
No, that's fair. It's not a bad point.
Russell Wilson out there now, too.
Gross. It's disgusting.
Maybe the Bucs like Russell Wilson. I don't know.
I don't think anybody likes Russell Wilson after what just went down
Sierra.
in Denver. We got Bet Three coming up next, hour 2.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Rejuve Medical, RejuveMedical.com. Go to RejuveMedical.com today for all your anti-aging needs. Recapture, I should say, that youthful, energetic feeling that you used to have when you were younger. Look, if you got mood and memory problems going on, you got facial aging, andropause, menopause, weight gain, you're not seeing the returns you used to. You don't roll out of bed feeling like you used to, and then you don't roll into bed feeling like you used to. Rejuve Me can fight all that, because all that's the untreated effects of aging, and they're anti-aging experts. So get your labs drawn, free consultation, and let them create a customized plan for you. Rejuve Me Medical.
They've got a couple of new locations coming to serve you, so check those out on their website, RejuveMeMedical.com. One up there in the 3-1 Great, the Monroe area. So again, be on the lookout for that. Go to the website to also get that consultation set up, RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Thursday, March 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 81. In hour 2 of today's show, we'll be joined by LSU softball coach Beth Tarina at 8 a.m. Then 8:15, LSU 8:30, LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson joins our show. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Hanging out with you here on a Thursday, March 7th, and every single Thursday to kick off hour number 2, we are blessed to be joined by the head coach of LSU softball, Coach Beth Tarina, the head coach of the lone undefeated team in the entire country, sitting there top 5 at 19-0, and the head coach of a team that's getting ready to open up SEC play this weekend. Coach Tarina, what's going on? How are we doing this morning?
Really, we're 19-0, but we're just hoping to find our wand in Kentucky. That's
How about, I saw Nick last night. She's talking, guys, about the rod of the ancient sleepwalker. Because, yes, everybody is fully aware that could go along with this purple jersey. I also have a purple staff. Coach, are we already? When are we hitting the road? Are we already in Lexington right now, or tomorrow?
No, I'm on my way to visit Skip Bertman's statue like I do every morning. Out on my walk. So, no, still in Baton Rouge. We're leaving this afternoon.
Is that really something that you do every morning? You go and pay homage to Skip on a walk?
No, I run every morning. And a lot of days I do, but one of my past picks made by Skip, and I try to, like, the championship vibe. Like, I try to, harness that, feel it from him. So, yeah, I go visit him a lot of mornings. He always told me the 5th time he went to the College World Series is when he won it. So, next time we go, watch out.
Okay, hell yeah.
Coach, you're not superstitious at all, though, right?
No, nothing at all.
When you run, do you listen to music, or do you just sit there and kind of ruminate?
I listen to Hebert and Hester, right? Of course.
Yeah, naturally.
But I mean, are you
audiobooks?
Okay, audiobooks. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, me too. I love it. What do you listen to right now?
Culture Code.
I don't know what Culture Code is. Do you ever mess with any romantasy, like A Court of Thorns and Roses or anything? I'm reading it right now. It's pretty.
No.
Okay.
I only just try to better myself in my, my
Thank
position
you,
as a coach.
Look, I'm just saying, Coach, if you ever want any junk food listening, I got you. I was here for you. All right. A lot to get to, though. We're on the edge of SEC play opening up tomorrow in Lexington, a top 25 matchup. But before we look forward, let's look back to last weekend where it's wild to me, Coach, not just the continued wins, but the nature of the wins. These are close-fought battles, right? Like, eventually, like in these one-run games, you're not supposed to have as much consistent success as your team is finding right now. What are you kind of identifying as to how y'all have been able to just constantly win one-run, two-run affairs that are very tense throughout?
Well, the message this week from our mental coach, and I loved it, was that we have answers for everything.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what you bring at us, we have an answer. Like, if you need us to outslug you 13-12, we can do it. If we need to throw a shutout, we can do it. If you want us to bunt our way to a win, we've got that too. So we have answers for everything.
Coach, have you ever been in a run outside of the San Diego State game? I believe it was on Friday, the first one, like a run where you have all these close contests and your team just stays locked in like this and wins all these tight games, one-run, two-run games. Can you remember a run like this in your coaching career?
Probably not, but I also can't remember a veteran group like this that just finds ways to win. They know how to win. They've been in millions of tough spots in their time here, and they just understand. I can tell you, there was an at-bat this weekend where Taylor was leading us off, and I looked at her and I was kind of like, hey, let's go. And she looked back yeah, I got this, and hit the first pitch into left field. Base hit, and then goes on to score the winning run, So, I think they just understand as veterans how to win games.
And, Coach, I know the vibes are high right now, so I hate to bring them down, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about Danica Coffey. She was red hot, batting 400, 10-game hitting streak. We all know through the years what kind of a leader she's been on this team. I think it came out yesterday, it was made official that she will miss the remainder of the season with a left knee injury. How is Danica doing, and how is the team reacting to the news?
I think I'm the most devastated because I understand what she means to us, and she's just the heart and soul of the team. She's so fun, She just keeps it light, keeps it fun. But she's doing well with it, and I think she's excited to come back for next year and, help a young team that's going to still be really talented, but be in a different type of leadership role next year. So I think she's prepared for that, and we're now calling her Coach D. She's been out there coaching them up, doing everything she can. Yesterday she was coaching third, trying to send runners and getting everybody thrown out. So it was great. It was great.
Coach, unfortunately, one of the cold facts when you have an injury like this is you start having to talk about, okay, well, who's going to replace that production? Because you care about the player, and the player's been here and had so many great moments, but you do have to move forward. So what does that look like for your team moving forward?
I think the good thing is we have such quality depth this year. And while it's young, they're talented. So, of course we want Danica. Of course we would love to have her. But when I had to look in the dugout and call out Maddie McKee, you still felt good about the spot we were in. I feel confident in what she's going to do. And the cool part is, too, how hard is it to sit the bench for 16, 17 games and then show up when your number's called and start producing and start making big plays? And she did that.
Coach, scouting out Kentucky, again, on the road in Lexington, take on the Wildcats, currently ranked in the top 25. What have you seen out of Kentucky? What kind of unique challenges do they represent?
Well, it's a really tough place to play. There's no bones about it. The ball jumps out of there. The weather is totally different than ours, so it feels very, very different, and it is one of the toughest places for us to play in the league. They're also always really well coached. Their coach is extremely good at strategy and game planning, and so they always have a great plan, and they have 3 good arms that'll be doing that against us. So every weekend I'm going to say the same thing because everyone in the SEC is in the top 25 is talented, so we're going to have to bring our best game no matter where we go.
Coach, do you think your young players, and you mentioned this is a veteran team, and so maybe they've helped this, but do you think your young players understand that like every single weekend in the SEC, you're probably going to be facing a team in the top 25, one of the best teams in the country?
No, they have no idea what they're getting into. And that's kind of the fun part. That's kind of the cool part is maybe they're just innocent, naive enough to go out and, get 3 hits and get 4 hits and just play softball. And I think it'll be fun to watch Sierra Daniel and Maddie McKee compete this weekend.
I think it's going to be fun as well. Cannot wait. LSU softball hitting the road. Again, Coach, if you need any romantasy options or you need any suggestions, I got you. Hit me up.
She's already said no once.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? You can sometimes, it's like water on the rocks, right? You can sometimes erode somebody's resistance with continuing to ask. Coach, best of luck this weekend. Continue to kick ass. Again, give our love to Danica. Let her know she is supported and loved by Tiger Nation and that she'll be back better and stronger than ever, one day at a time going into next year. And best of luck this weekend, one pitch at a time. Get it done. Deal us in, LSU softball.
Thank you. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks for having me.
All right, you too, Coach. Take it easy. I'm all down, dude. I'm all down for the improvement, like the self-improvement books and nonfiction. But I gotta have both. I bounce back. I do one history book, then I just do some schlocky, just junk food reading, and then I do
schlocky.
I don't know exactly what schlocky means, but I think that's right. Let's see. Cheap or inferior? Yeah, like trash. Yeah, but like good trash. Like watching a bad movie or something, right? You can watch a bad, cheesy television show, but sometimes it just clicks with you. In the same way, I can read really bad fantasy and it just clicks with me. Though I wouldn't say that Court of Thorns and Roses is that. I think it's actually pretty damn good. All right, when we get back here, we got some NFL news to get to as well as college football. And then we got Coach Jay Johnson coming up at 8:30. Talk about the big win last night, the massive wins in Houston last week, and looking forward to another weekend. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go there today and see what they can offer you, man. Look, I have that new 23 Toyota Sienna. And, first off, I love minivans. But the best part is actually the hybrid element, Jake. And I didn't like. I'll be honest. That was not a factor for me when purchasing the car. I didn't think about it. Right. I just knew I wanted a minivan because it's so good for the lifestyle with all the kids. And it doesn't have to be a minivan because all these new Toyotas are hybrids. But when you're suddenly getting 30 miles to the gallon and you're saving money in this economy, that goes a long way with me. And so you can get that as well. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, when you go to that website, we tell you every single day, no matter what you're looking to do, buy new, lease, or rent, everything is going to be available. Spring break coming up. Go ahead and get that rental reserved. Call Miss Lisa Sessions today. Also, ToyotaBatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. To update a story from yesterday, guys, Iditarod race officials have officially given our guy, Dallas Seavey, a 2-hour penalty for not properly gutting the moose that he killed. After an investigation took place, they found that Dallas had his run-in with the moose.
Yeah.
He killed the moose. He stayed at the kill site for about 10 minutes. And then took off. But in those 10 minutes, he did not properly gut the moose. And the moose, it is funny because the quote from yesterday is, quote, "I gutted it the best I could, but it was ugly." It was also hurriedly because he didn't do it correctly. Now he's got a 2-hour penalty. And it's important for Dallas because if he wins, it would be his 6th Iditarod win, which would be the most all time. So all of a sudden, I believe he's still in first right now, but Dallas Seavey not doing himself any favors. It ended up sending me down a bit of a Iditarod wormhole. How long do you think the Iditarod race is?
I got no idea.
1,000 miles, bro. 1,000 miles. And you travel across 2 mountain ranges. You go travel across the frozen Yukon River, the frozen Barren Sea. You go through all sorts of ghost towns, these old gold mining towns that nobody lives in anymore. Can you imagine the experience of you and like 16 dogs out there just getting it? So that's grit. Like that's toughness.
Yeah,
being out there in the wild for 10 days. The race takes 10 days. The record is what? The record, I believe, is 8 days. Yeah. 8 days, 14 hours, 19 minutes is the fastest that anybody's ever done it. How about this? How many calories a day do you think a single sled dog eats?
A lot.
10 to 12,000 calories.
I was going to say 6.
Getting after it, bro. I don't even know how you pack all that stuff on the sled.
I was about to say, like what?
Crazy.
Cheeseburgers in the bag? How do you get that many calories?
They've all sort of like little frozen treats. Sometimes they're like mushed down dog food, and then it seems like when they stop, they get the real good stuff like beef slurries and other stuff along those lines. Did y'all know that there's a Jamaican dog sled team? Apparently,
there's a Jamaican bobsled team.
So they were inspired by the Jamaican bobsled team to make a Jamaican dog sled team called Mushinman, and it was actually sponsored by Jimmy Buffett back in the day. And I think it's all my Iditarod. Well, I actually have a couple more. Last place gets a special prize. You get a red lantern if you get in last. You know, just because you finished. It's good. Doesn't seem like anybody's as in the Iditarod as I am.
Like, not at all.
Yeah,
not at all?
I'm not interested.
Not one bit.
It's not at all cool to you that in this day and age, you have people out there in the coldest part of the planet bringing just themselves, supplies, and 16 dogs going 1,000 miles across frozen rivers and mountain ranges and frozen seas. This does nothing for you.
How many?
Y'all need to read more schlocky
our
fantasy.
Dallas guy. How many of these Iditarods has he won? You said
So
5?
I have 5. This would be number 6, which nobody's ever won 6 for. And it goes in the family. He won his first one, I want to say around like 2012 or something. And the next year, his dad won his like 4th one.
Okay, so if he wins number 6,
yeah,
while having a 2-hour penalty because he killed a moose, can we crown him the Iditarod goat?
Well, yes, if he wins, he will quite literally be the Iditarod goat by definition. Or I think they call it the moose. But I mean, then again, I wonder if we're talking a race where the record is nearly 9 days, how much is 2 hours actually? You know, it's just like a second penalty. I think Dallas is probably good enough where he'll be fine, but we'll see. Cool droppings is Danny Blood, the Mushinman team. All right, whatever.
Sorry.
What do you want to talk about then? You don't want to talk about the Iditarod?
Top 5 greatest fullbacks of all time. Go.
Jacob Hester,
Yes.
Hester.
Thank you.
Jacob Hester, Jacob Hester, and Jacob Hester.
Thank you.
That's a good little Dylon bit you did there. No, it would be Larry Zonka, Mike Allstott, Lorenzo Neal, Natron Means.
You just talked about this guy's nickname and what you just talked about. Natron Means was a running back, never had 3 fingers in the dirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Little bowling ball of a man, wasn't he?
Franco Harris.
Franco Harris.
A
I
little
would
more
consider
running back.
Franco a halfback. Yeah.
Yeah, so was Larry Zonka.
Yeah.
But
well, okay. What are y'all 2 greatest fullbacks? Then?
This is not the cowboy in me, but Daryl Johnston's
that's what I
got to
said,
be
Moose.
up there. Moose, yeah.
Yeah,
Moose
you
got
just
to be
talked
up
about it.
there.
Hell yeah.
Lorenzo Neal would be in there. Mike Allstott would have to be number 1 for me.
Yeah, me too.
Even though we all say that just because Mike Allstott played the least like a fullback because he got to run the ball constantly.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he was a
He
good
also blocked,
blocker.
though, yeah.
No, I know, but like, let's be honest. We all love Mike Allstott because he did the least fullback things.
No, he's just awesome. Mike
And the neck
Allstott,
roll.
Lorenzo Neal, Moose Johnson, Tom Rathman. This spot. I want to make sure I get this right.
MDKG wants to know if Christian Okoye is a fullback or a running back.
He's a nightmare, Nigerian nightmare.
I'd put him in running back, but I mean, you'd
Yeah, I
be
put him in
better
running
at
back.
Mike Carney?
That's a good boxing nickname.
Well, Mike Carney was a stud. I don't know how to put him in top 5 of all time. He was an absolute stud, though.
So we're looking for a 5th fullback.
Use check.
Yeah,
Gotta be
actually.
Juice.
I mean,
Actually,
look,
yeah.
By the end of
Juice
his
has got to
career,
be
'cause
in there.
He could play running
He's
back.
probably made more
could-
Pro Bowls than any
He
of
could
them.
play tight end if you needed him to.
There
Like
it
the
is.
versatility.
Also
of him alone.
single-handedly keeping the position alive in a day and age where
Actually, there was 3 or 4 championship teams that had one. So.
he's like the last dinosaur in like Land Before Time when they make it to that little area that hasn't yet been affected by the asteroid. That's basically Kyle Juszczyk. T-Bob having an off day. What, dude? What? Y'all don't want to look, dude. If y'all don't want to hear about the Iditarod, whatever. You're right. Okay, I misjudged the room. I think it's crazy that y'all don't find it interesting, but that's fine. We got Jay Johnson coming up next, so you can talk about that.
I mean,
We can talk about Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccuTempBR.com for your AC heat and electrical needs. I mean, if I was racing in the Iditarod, I would probably hope that the place that I'd be camping at would have a heater. Probably doesn't, because it's an old ghost mining town full of haunted spirits and snow demons. Not that you find that interesting. Take control of your comfort zone. What?
Maybe if it was real, I'd find that interesting.
Ooh.
Talk a big game, Alondra.
Shot through the heart.
Let's see you spend the night in this building, in this basement on Halloween. Okay.
I'll do it. We can film it. I'll do it.
Do it.
I'm not scared.
Good. I'm not scared either. The call Accutemp and take control of my comfort zone. Look, man, the customer service second to us. You're going to get service to the highest degree. You're going to be blown away. And I mean that sincerely. Also, remember, if you're in the market for like a whole home generator, anything to get you ready for storm season, Accutemp's always got your back. Accutemp Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. Ironhead Hayward.
Oh, great one.
Ironhead Hayward probably deserves to be on there.
He's
Absolutely.
close. You know who's also probably, and I'm trying to take bias out of this, but he's an NFL Hall of Famer, Jim Taylor. He's a fullback for the Packers.
Oh, he's a fullback?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Tigers. Yeah. 2007, I don't know if you remember this, T-Bob. You were here, but like in 2007, Jim Taylor would come around. He'd come to the training room, and he'd sit there and he would talk ball. I'd sit there for an hour and just talk ball with Jim Taylor, which was incredible for me. I mean, the position he played, the grit that he played with. And when I say that this man, gosh, how old would he have been? Probably, for sure, 70s? I don't know. However old he was.
Yeah, I mean, he was on those Bart Starr teams, right? I mean, in the 60s Packers?
Let's see.
Or
Okay, I'm looking at 65. He was 72.
Okay.
I'm looking at his age right now. He was 72 years old when he come around. And when I say this man looked like he could bear wrestle anybody in that locker room, like he was still put together. Had a great handshake on him. And that was something that even like at the time, I was like, don't take this for granted.
Did he have those, did he have like gnarled old school football player fingers?
Yes.
I always do.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like Hokie
Yeah.
Gajan used to have some of the craziest fingers
Dude's
I've ever seen in my entire life.
His calves were gigantic.
What about, look, y'all are talking about fullbacks, and I get it. Like, we don't think of him a lot as a fullback because of the college award that's named after him. But Bronco Nagurski is a fullback in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I've never seen Bronco Nagurski play, but I'm sure he was a badass.
I mean, he's a Hall of Fame fullback. He played both sides of the ball.
I still think, talking about this, though, no one has a better nickname than Ironhead Hayward. Like, are you kidding me?
No, and I love
you play
him.
fullback and your literal name is Ironhead?
Yeah.
Because you just sit there and just throw it in there like a madman every single time.
And you've got multiple sons that are in the NFL because you're just like, you know, incredibly athletic. Like that's what Ironhead Hayward never got credit. Like, yeah, he was going like break your face mask, but he could run.
Yeah, he was massive to be able to run like he could run. And, well, never forget, as I played Little League with Cam, as many of y'all listening know because I've told the story a lot, but if you haven't heard, at 10 years old, Cam was 6 foot, 180 pounds. His little brother, Connor, looked like an overstuffed sausage in his car seat. His rolls and body was just overflowing, like pushing against the bands, which were fully extended as much as they possibly could be. And now both of them play for the Steelers, and Cam's probably an NFL Hall of Famer.
And just won Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Wow. Earl Campbell is a running back in a fullback's body.
He was that. There's a lot of those.
Yeah, that'd be like Jerome Bettis probably as well.
Jerome Bettis. Natron Means, like you talked about a little bit earlier.
Okoye, like we were talking about.
Mike Tolbert.
Yep.
Would fall that. Mike was more of a running back.
Is Maurice Jones-Drew too tiny to get that? I mean, he's short. He's kind of round like the others.
He's bigger.
But
he's bigger now than he was when he played. He was definitely a running back. Like, if I can't turn on the tape and see you with 3 fingers in the ground and blocking either lead on a power or the backside of a zone, you're not a fullback.
Wow, Jim Taylor had over 100 touchdowns and was the Packers' all-time leading rusher until the early 2000s. Damn. Work out, bro. All right, when we get back, let's talk to LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, CommunitySteelCo.com. You know who does care about the Iditarod? Community Steel, because they have taste. I don't know how to tie this in. You should go get your steel from Community Steel. It's in Gonzales, Louisiana. You need purlin, tubing, steel building, sheet metal. They make it all right there on site, okay? Straight from the wholesaler to their manufacturing machines, meaning you can go tour, you can see it all, you can touch it all, you can feel it all, you can get to know the people at Community Steel, including the live and local sales team. So it's the best price point. It's local. There's actual human beings you can form relationships with, whether it's personal or business needs. Why would you get your steel anywhere other than Community Steel?
You can actually go see them in Gonzales, Louisiana. Like T-Bob said, go see the sales team. They've been there for an hour and a half already in Gonzales, but you can also pick up the phone and give them a call in the state of Louisiana, 225-647-2020. Find them online, again, communitysteelco.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
IU Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $17,500 off new 23 1500 Bighorn trucks. We're open for business in our beautiful new showroom and taking $17,500 off new Ram 1500 trucks. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. It's Thursday, and every Thursday we are so blessed to be joined by the head coach of LSU baseball, our guy, Coach Jay Johnson, fresh off a nail-biter last night at Southeastern. The Tigers get it done versus the Lions. Oh, my. There is no clock in baseball. Coach, what's going on, man? How are we feeling this morning after the win?
I like it. You're reciting our deal right there. You're paying attention, T-Bob. Go clock in baseball.
Well, it's funny because it's like, well, yeah, it's obvious, but it is one of those deals where you don't always appreciate it's one of the kind of unique traits of the game and how much the fun situations that it can create. I want to get to you. I want to get to the traits that you think last night speaks to, because we opened the show talking about it, where I think as a defending national champion, as a team made up of players that had such high recruiting profiles, I think it would have been, and after such a solid weekend in Houston, I think it would have been all too easy to say, you know what, there was some good tonight, but it just wasn't our night. And you let the game go, and Southeastern gets their win, and then you move on. But this team didn't do that. They battled till the literal last pitch and found a way to get it done. As a coach, what does that tell you about your team's makeup?
Yeah, it's confirming more than anything else. Like, people that aren't around every day wouldn't know that, but really wasn't surprised. I think a couple things get overlooked in baseball. It's not always the team with the best players. It's the team that plays the best that day. Mm-hmm. And, for a better part of the game, Southeastern played better. And it's a good team, and it's a competitive team, and a team that is going to win a lot of games. And that game will prove very valuable, in the RPI for us. But, that's the surface level stuff. The depth of it is, really good teams find a way to win when they don't play their best. Really good teams find a way when the coach doesn't set up the schedule very well, and makes you go on the road after going on the road. You overcome those kinds of things. And I had concerns about that, but I also think it's good to test your team, with things that are a little bit difficult. And I didn't think we were very comfortable, through the game, but they found a way to win. And I think it's a testament to their toughness. I definitely think it's a testament to the depth of our team. Our bullpen bent a little bit, but it didn't break. I mean, if that ends up 4-1 in the ninth inning, it's probably a different deal. But we were able to leave that runner at third base, leave two guys on base. We get to 2 outs and 2 strikes, and Mac Bingham, who's played 1 billion college baseball games, comes back and draws a walk. Ethan Fry, who is awesome. Like, I view him as a starter, even though he's only started 2 games, is ready to roll off the bench. He doesn't say anything about what's in it for me. He just keeps working, and he's ready. And then Paxton Kling, who had a terrible game, if you really want to be honest, he 0 for 4. He wants the 5th at bat. And so I think there's a lot to be proud of with our team, and really just confirmed a lot of stuff that we see that we think about our team.
Well, and it's funny you mentioned the clean quote there, because after the game last night, you talk about, your great hitters, when they're 0 for 4, they want the 5th. And what I've been wanting to ask you is that an inherent trait, or is that something learned? Like, can you coach that into somebody, or do they just kind of have to have that moxie?
Well, speaking of Paxton, he's a great athlete, and he's got more tools than anybody on our team to be a great player. But I think we're seeing him become a great player. Mm-hmm. And I'm super proud of that. And he'll tell you he's got a long way to go. He's his hardest critic. But that's a big step in his development as a player last night. And super proud of him. And, I mean, he got a pitch. Well, first off, he laid off 2 bad pitches, which shows some self-control in the moment. And then he got his pitch, and he ripped it.
Coach, I can't believe we've gone 5 minutes and hadn't mentioned Cade Anderson yet, because he was dominating the Lions last night. 13 strikeouts in only 5 innings. And he's a young player, but he has been consistent every time you've thrown him out there. Like, did you see this from him, like in the fall and leading into the season, that you could count on a young player like this to go out there and kind of command the mound like he's done this year?
Yeah, well, we did. We knew he was very good. I mean, the day I accepted the job, a friend of mine, Eric Borba, who is the head coach at Orange Lutheran High School in California, his son is Casey. He plays at Texas. Him and Cade played on the same travel ball team, and he's like, hey, man, you need to get on the phone with this guy like yesterday.
Yeah.
And so we had a pretty good idea what we were, dealing with Cade. With him coming here. And then he had Tommy John surgery, which is the only way he probably ended up in college. And luckily for us, it happened at a time where he got a chance to make a full recovery. He had some really bright spots in the fall, but he was still working his way back from the injury.
Right.
And so there was that. And then we have really good hitters and really good position players. So it would be a really good inning or 2 good innings, and then they would get to him a little bit. But that's guys that get a chance to see him every week, in scrimmages. And since we've played other teams, man, he's a lot to deal with. And somebody was asking me about it last night. It's like, I'm a pretty grateful person for the things in my life. I'm very thankful that dude is at LSU, at least for the next couple of years,
It's insane how good the starting pitching feels here in this opening portion of the season. But let's flip it to the bats. You mentioned, and let's look back to last weekend a little bit, LeBaron Johnson kind of representing the first kind of true ace maybe that y'all have faced this season.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Paxton Kling laying off a couple of pitches. Here's one of my favorite stats from last weekend. It took LeBaron Johnson 55 pitches to get through that order the first time, an average of 6.1 pitches per plate appearance. Shout out Hunt Palmer. And that had to make you feel good about your team's discipline at the plate as it gets ready for SEC play, where you're going to see LeBaron Johnson kind of more often than not on Friday nights.
Yeah, for sure. And, I always want to have great players. Like, recruiting is the most important thing. But I want to play great. And that was a master class in how you take down an ace pitcher.
Mhm.
And I'm proud of the team for responding to that challenge. Now, what you just alluded to, the challenge will be to consistently do that, because it's not just Friday, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
And with some of the best teams, it's also Sunday. And that's a mental grind, psychological warfare, which we won that night. And we have a really good bullpen. So if we can get it to where the game's going to be decided by the bullpen, then I like our chances. But it's going to take that commitment from the hitters and the offense. And it was outstanding. And to be honest, we faced another really good pitcher on Sunday, and we didn't do a lot with him, but we still walked 6 times and blew the game open in the 5th inning. And it's okay to win the game in the 4th and the 5th and the 6th instead of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, or the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we did that really all 3 games in Houston.
Coach, this is going to be the 3rd week in a row that I bring up this player because I've just been so impressed with his mentality as a young player, and that is Stephen Milam. Last night, again, he has 2 more hits, scores 2 runs, and in a night where, you're not, getting a ton of hits. I think obviously getting the 9th inning, you rack up some hits, but 8 hits total in the night. He's got 2 of them. And obviously he's playing for LSU. He's a talented player, but it's just the mentality. It looks like he is a veteran player. He's got an idea. He's got a plan every time that he goes up and steps into the box, and also in the field. Like, I'm going to continue to bring him up because it feels like he's a player that we're going to continue to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Super proud of him. He's tough-minded. He had a tough fall, and what I mean by that, again, same thing we were talking about with Cade. You're walking into a national championship team and facing super tough pitching, and then I sent him home with like 3 or 4 things to make sure we got done, and he's blown the doors off of all of that, and I can't even imagine our team without him right now, and that's a big-time compliment, and he's still learning, but it's like, it took something early in the game with an AB he had early in the game and immediately applied it. And only great players can do that. So super happy he's here and playing well, and obviously going to be a staple here for the next 3 years.
So one of the other early just massive success stories here, Coach, has been Luke Holman. And we talked to you last week kind of wondering, who's going to be that Friday night guy going in a big game like Texas. Holman ends up getting the nod. And you look up, and all he's done is lead the SEC in innings pitched thus far. Still has yet to surrender a run, has a cool little 15-1 strikeout to walk ratio at 30-2. Look, he was already awesome last year, but this feels like even a significant step forward for Holman. Would you agree with that, or was he just maybe was I guilty of kind of undervaluing him last season?
Yeah, put it this way, it's this whole portal thing has changed everything, for the good and the bad. And the way I explained it as we were trying to recruit him, like, okay, look, guys, like, this is a 4-game swing in the SEC standings, one way or the other.
Wow.
And so I could sit here and talk about all this stuff. That's how valuable I think he is. And T-Bob, you really outlined a lot of the reasons why, as far as strikes and those types of things. And I've told this before, like when we were preparing to play them, he did not pitch against us. But last year's team, there wasn't too many guys that had me a little bit like, man, this guy could be a problem for a little bit. Like I felt that way about Josh Hartle from Wake Forest. I felt that way about Rhett Lauder. I mean, Luke was a guy I felt that way about. And then when he went in the portal, it was like an everyday thing. And fun story now, it's like, hey, man, we got back from Omaha, had the celebration, met with the players the next day, and then I was on a plane the next morning going to see you-know-who because I believed he would have.
Oh, wow, dude.
I believed he would have this type of impact. And the best part about it is he's an awesome human being. Like, he's so quiet and so unassuming. Like, people haven't really talked about him. He's got this huge, like, outgoing personality, doesn't need or want any attention, just shows up, and it's 15 strikeouts to 1 walk, and that's Luke.
It's been a ton of fun to watch, too. I mean, so many players on this team, Coach, and the mentality just looks like it's in the right spot and total command of the mound. And also, like another player, like Gage Jump. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago with you, and you're ramping up, and he's getting more pitches. I mean, he's been dominant out there as well. And the plan looks like it's working so far. Like, hey, here's how many pitches you're going to throw. Here's how long you're going to stay in the game. And like even in high leverage situations, he just feels like a player that hasn't been in a lot of those situations just continues to thrive in those moments.
Yeah, super talented, only going to get better as the season goes along with more experience. I think, like I was just mentioning with Luke, he flew under the radar a little bit because he missed last season because of an injury. Mm-hmm. But it was the same kind of thing. Like, once this dude is going in the portal, like, we need this guy.
Yeah.
And luckily, I had some history with him and his family. Recruited his brother unsuccessfully, like 2 or 3 times, unsuccessfully. Recruited Gage to Arizona. So that helped, and he's got a chance to be pretty good. And it's exciting. I think he feels good and ready to go now, and it's his time. So, for him, all he has to do is stay on the mound, and he's going to really benefit from that from the pro side. And for us, obviously, it changes our team when he's out there.
Coach, I can't thank you enough for joining us every week here on Off the Bench. It's one of my favorite parts of the week. Congrats on the big win last night. Now a weekend at home, and then SEC play right around the corner. I'm getting goosebumps. I can't wait. Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys. Have a great day.
Yes,
Thanks,
sir.
Coach.
You have a great day as well. Oof. SEC baseball, bro. It's almost here. We are so friggin' close.
It's incredible to me, the freshmen, the young players, like even if they're not a freshman, like Gage Jump hadn't played a ton of baseball.
No.
And I keep bringing up mentality because, like, I want Coach to know that ain't normal. He knows it ain't normal. Like, for Stephen Milam to go out there as a true freshman and just continue to, like, get a better position in the lineup because you can't deny what he's doing, and he's got a plan, and, like, even in the field, like, he is not scared to make the play. Man, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch a young player go out there, believe in himself, trust in the work that he's done, and go out there and apply it in the baseball field. Again, like, you're not hitting the ball well last night. And you look up, and Milam's got 2 of those hits, and he gets on when he has to in the 9th inning and becomes, one of the reasons why you win.
Yeah, I loved what he had to say about Paxton Kling, too, keeping it real, being like, yeah, he's playing bad. And then my man showed up when it mattered most, and he is becoming a great player. Not good. Coach J is not one to throw out adjectives without intent, right? He's telling you that he believes that Paxton Kling is actively in front of your eyes, flourishing into one of the next LSU greats. And that's saying something at this program. All right, when we get back, let's wrap up hour number 2 of OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org. You got plumbing problems, you go to Central Plumbing, okay? Licensed, bond, insured, 24/7 emergency service, flat rate pricing. It's a few, and 5 decades of experience. A few of the reasons why Central Plumbing's your one-stop plumbing shop. But as I always tell you, look, repairs, they're always there if you think of a massive fleet, okay? Commercial, residential, they do it all. But it's not just repairs. Maybe like for you, the missus, whoever cares about, interior stuff, you want to redo a bathroom, make the bathroom your dreams, you want to get like a tankless water, you've got a bunch of kids like Jake, you never want to run out of hot water, okay? Central Plumbing's your answer.
You don't have to have 5 kids. You can have 3 kids like Bob are here, right? And if you get home late from practice and you still got to do laundry, dishes, shower, the whole deal, well, a lot of times you got to wait if you don't have a tankless water heater because you got to wait on the hot water. You don't have to wait if you go tankless today and do it with Central Plumbing. Call them to set everything up at 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Elevate brand visibility, ignite customer engagement with the power of radio and digital advertising combined. Guarantee Digital Media brings the two together as a trusted media partner in Louisiana for nearly a century. Claim your free digital audit at guaranteemedia.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Noogie says, I'm just glad Paxton Clean got his kid's bear back after all that mess on the plane. I agree, dude. I thought it was a bunny, though. It's a bunny, I believe, right? Yeah. Bunny.
I just kept thinking, look at this photograph.
He does. Oh, that's me. He does have some Kroger in him, though.
See, I think it's Craig Stelz.
He's also Nigel Thornberry.
He's Nigel Thornberry, too. He's like 4 people combined.
Wrapped into one. We're talking about
I think we need to put a side-by-side of him and Craig Stelz.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Other things I love from this baseball team thus far this year, we're talking about in the break. I love these TikTok pictures, Jake. I don't know if it's an attention span thing, but how fast Gage Jump operates, even how fast Kate Anderson operates, but especially Jump. I mean, it is glove to catcher to glove to catcher. There's no downtime. Like we were talking about mentally how tough of a game baseball is because you have so much time to be in your head, whereas football or basketball, you kind of enter these flow states where you're just doing. But you actually don't have that much time if you're playing against Gage Jump because he is immediately reloading and gripping and ripping. Other things I love, the announcers from last night. How about them, dude? They were that.
I heard something different. I heard different, but I didn't listen to that.
Come on, guys. You know they're just solid local pro.
You have a job.
Yeah.
You have a job.
Great.
And sometimes you say sometimes you say it once, sometimes you say it 3,500 times.
Also, that was a entire student-driven broadcast.
Yeah, that's what I say. You could tell. Those are some young guns cutting their teeth a little bit. Levels a little off. You could barely hear the color guy or the play guy was a little hot on the mic, but it was solid. Shout out to the Lions, dude.
Can I say I got to the studio yesterday and I get a text from someone and it's like, there's no power in the press box at Southeastern. And I was like, cool. Because last year there was no internet.
Hell yeah, dude. Credit to them. Making it happen, man.
Every single time.
Champ says the pitchers understand momentum under Jay. That's why anytime the other guys get something rolling, Jay slows the game to a crawl.
Yeah.
That is actually, that's very fair.
He's very good too. Like
even basketball timeouts.
Even when he'll call like a timeout to talk to someone at the plate.
Yeah.
Like a lot of coaches don't do that.
Yeah.
Jay does it all. He did it last night before Fry went up to the plate to obviously get the big hit, the big double. Like a lot of people don't do that. Like he knows when to slow it down and like every like aspect of it. That's why we always say like he's going to be the closest thing to a Nick Saban because he's got a personality where everything is
every
covered.
detail.
Nothing is going to be too minor. And I say that about Coach Saban all the time. That's what made him the greatest that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no clock in baseball, but he has a really good clock management skills.
True. Actual true. I guess it's that's just one of those I'm sure that there are some analytical things that you could point to be like, hey coach, maybe we do that, but that feels very much like a feel sort of just feeling the flow of the game and knowing when to insert yourself and try to arrest the momentum for the other team. There was no arresting the momentum for Cade Anderson last night, though, as the lefty was completely on fire. I just want SEC play to hurry up and get here. I just need SEC play to hurry up and get here. I don't know if I can, whatever. It's one more week. We gonna make it. One other thing that I love, speaking of, so my little brother's second bachelor party is this weekend. I do not think I'll be dancing in a circle of gay men this weekend, though.
Why not?
Well, it is all my brother and his friends, so maybe I will. But we'll be up in Toledo Bend, hanging out, fishing. Got like bocce tournaments planned, video game tournaments going on. We
like
may or may not
30s
be tracking down an N64. I know, but I actually love this thing they're doing. So one of the kids gets in the Shreveport Airport tonight at midnight, hour away, and they're having a FIFA tournament where if you win, you're out. The loser has to keep playing, and the eventual loser of the entire tournament has to go get the kid from the airport at midnight. It's actually genius. Think about that intense that's going to be in the championship match where you have two. It's like relegation.
Yeah.
It's like relegation writ large. You have the championship match. You have the two worst players in the house, and they're going to be going toe-to-toe with the loser, having to saddle up, doesn't get to drink as much, right? If as soon as you win, you can start drinking heavy.
Yeah.
But if you keep losing, you got to be a little careful because you might be having to drive your ass to Shreveport coming up.
Do you find your way back to I-49 to get to the port city?
I think so.
From there?
I haven't made that drive a ton. Wow, Craig Stelz does look like that.
Thank you.
Good call, Jake. Yeah. Hour 3 next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Pinnacle Exterior Construction, man. Look, you need bulkheads, pergola fences. They do it all. You need badass outdoor kitchens. Pinnacle's got you. But let's talk about pools, okay? Because pool season is right around the corner. I told you skies out, thighs out, okay? I ain't doing all these push-ups in between breaks not to be at the pool this summer. And if I was going to get a pool in my house, I'd be going to Pinnacle. Why? Because in just 2 weeks, you get the exact pool you want. So they have these spec pools, right, where you kind of choose your template, you choose the details, you make it how you want. And then again, in 2 weeks, you have a fully installed, fully functional, high-class pool. Check out the financing options. It's more affordable than you think. Go to PECbuilt.com.
Yeah, like spec pools with details, though, not just your basic, like, hey, we're just going to throw this in the ground. I mean, there's details in these pools and the time. I mean, it's incredible how fast they get the work done. You'll have for pool season, PECbuilt.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Anyone want a Coors Light?
Oh, shoot, I forgot to play the song. I got a guy who can fix this.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday, March 7th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 81. In hour 3 of today's show, we'll talk the latest news in the NFL, and we'll be joined by LSU Executive Chef Michael Johnson for our weekly Munchie segment. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch them in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? What's going on? Timo Jacob and Taylor hanging out with you today. Real quick, a question was asked in the chat that I actually like, came from Bilbo. It was asked the bench. What is the highest price that you would pay per pound for crawfish? Which is a little wild out there now, bro. You know, $10 a pound. I just can't do it.
No.
I just can't do it. I range find by thinking about my 5 pounds that I want, right? And I've landed at $7. I think $35 for just me to eat crawfish is at the top level of where I'm going to extend myself.
I was gonna say like six and some change.
Well,
like I'm not.
I think crawfish for me, it's about hanging out and having it in front of you and drinking the beers, watching the game. Like there's a portion of that to it.
I mean, that's definitely done.
Because it does take a lot to fill you up. It's not a food where you're going to have a little bit and be full. So, like, the price is hard to justify right now.
I like to eat so much crawfish that I feel like a tick that's just been drinking blood. Just so swollen from all the salt and spices that I can barely move. I like to feel like I'm sweating even when I'm in the air conditioning. That's tough to do at restaurants, though. Like 5 pounds ain't going to do that to you. That's only if you're at a backyard
I don't like crawfish at a restaurant.
Burrow. I know. I could tell that's what you were kind of getting at.
Yeah, I don't like it at a restaurant.
See, I disagree. I still do love some. If it's a restaurant that knows that makes them well,
it's not even that they make them well. It's just like the vibe. Like crawfish is a vibe for me.
Interesting.
Like there's something to like. We're gonna do this deal. We're gonna go outside. We're going to turn the TV on LSU baseball.
Yeah.
We're gonna eat some crawfish, and we're going to conversate.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The other part that stinks about restaurants a lot of times is it's impossible to get your fill of the fixins. You know.
Yeah.
They're always sparse with the fixins. They're like, okay, you want to pay extra? Well, you get 1 potato and 1 sausage link. I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
If I'm in the backyard, I'm taking down 10 links.
Right.
With garlic in every bite. I'm just jamming garlic and sausage into my mouth. Like probably 4 to 5 corns. 5 to 6 patatas. Not the case when you're at the restaurant. But yeah, so $7 is where I'm at.
You love garlic.
I love garlic, but I specifically love crawfish bowl garlic. But yeah, I love garlic. Garlic's awesome.
Garlic.
Like, who doesn't love garlic? Garlic goes great on everything.
I love it too.
Garlic
I could
bread.
never be a vampire.
I like eating raw garlic.
Like, the vampire's never attacking this man.
No.
If it does, it's done.
I like eating raw garlic sometimes, and when I'm chopping it up, just throw a little couple pieces. Very spicy, certainly, but I mean, you cook garlic, you can do anything with garlic. It's the best.
What was like the average price before it got all high?
It's tough to remember, right?
Yeah.
I don't, for some reason, I don't know. Like I feel like
I would base my answer off
So
of
like
that.
a normal year?
Yeah, I'm like $4 a pound.
I was gonna say like $4.50, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I think like $6-7
Six
is
would have
what I'd
been-
be willing to pay for it. Yeah.
So I don't know, man. It's crazy that I haven't even had any yet this season. So here's to hoping that things improve and we can get there pretty soon here. So the New Orleans Saints, we talked about the Saints and Kirk Cousins potentially going to Atlanta and what that would mean for Derek Carr and the NFC South. And are you then the third best quarterback in the NFC South? Well, everything in football goes back to the quarterback, right? If you look at the highest paid positions, it's the quarterback itself. It's who protects the quarterbacks and it's who gets after the quarterback. Last year, the Saints were not great in that regard. Like Demario Davis is great in terms of middle linebackers rushing up the middle. He's probably the best in the NFL or definitely like a top 3 guy. Carl Granderson had a career year, 8.5 sacks. But outside of that, I mean, Cam Jordan was down. Isaiah Foskey was non-existent. We all know Marcus Davenport, Peyton Turner, none of that has worked out over the last few years. And so you're sitting here and you heard Nick earlier this week, like that is absolutely where they have to get better. It's why in the Dallas Turner, Brian Thomas Jr. conundrum, it wasn't even a thought that it would be Dallas Turner, but what if he's not there? How would y'all feel about Chase Young? Chase Young, of course, bursting onto the scene with that great rookie year. Injuries kind of upset the next 2. But he played pretty damn well last year. The thing is, though, because of the injuries and the relative lack of production, he's not really in line for a massive deal.
No.
So maybe this becomes kind of a marriage between the two parties where the New Orleans Saints go, look, we'll go 1 year, give you a pretty good chunk, 1 year, and then, you play well and somebody will give you a big contract. Maybe it's us. Maybe it's not, but like I feel like that's probably I feel like you get better if you get Chase Young, and it's likely at a somewhat discounted price if he fulfills the potential that he has.
Well, you just got to look at it. He only had, I believe, 2.5 sacks. Yeah, 2.5 sacks before he went to San Francisco last year, and that was in.
I thought he had I thought he had like 3.5 before he went there for something.
No, he had. I'm looking at it right now. He had 2.5 before he got there. And then he ended up having 5 once he got there. And that was with one of the best pass rushers in the NFL on the other side of you. So he was going to get all the attention. So you're going to have some of those one-on-one battles. He's not related to the player that we thought he was going to be coming out of Ohio State. He was the number 2 overall pick. there was some conversation, you and I have talked about this, that he could be the number 1 pick. Remember, it was like, do we take Burrow or do we take Chase Young?
And he was great year 1, dude. He looked like he was going to fulfill that potential.
So I think he is a nice addition to a team. But if you're looking for like the potential of a Dallas Turner, I don't think Chase Young's going to fill that.
Well, and I think even if you sign Chase Young, I still think if Turner's there, you draft him. And it
depends on what Chase Young's market looks like.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, a lot of this is going to be price dependent, and maybe somebody is in love with him and they will give him the big deal. But it's certainly something to explore. There are options out there if you're the New Orleans Saints, or there at least is one option that may make a lot of sense in Chase Young.
When you look at 2022, he only played in 3 games, right, because of injury. Only played in 7 because of 23 with Washington, and then he played 9 or 10 with San Francisco. Yeah. So, to see him get back healthy, that's a positive for you. But still, when you see 7.5 as a rookie, only 1.5 sacks in 9 games in your second year, and then in an injury year, you don't have any, and then you have 7.5. So you match your rookie production. You have to go watch the tape, and you have to say, okay, he got back to his rookie number, but what's the ceiling? How much better can he get? Is he now getting back fully healthy? How much should he benefit from having Nick Bosa on the other side? I think it's a conversation. I don't think it's cut and dry, sign him or don't sign him.
Yeah.
You have to do your due diligence, because 7.5 is tied for the most that he's ever had in his career. So do you think that was because of A, B, and C? And do you like A, B, and C? Or where do you evaluate Chase Young? And so it would definitely be a conversation that you would have to have, because just raw talent does flash to you. He's only 24 years old still.
Young.
So you can talk yourself into saying, hey, we can develop this guy.
He's got a double-digit sack season in him, I feel. If you go 7.5 as a rookie and then you match it again after some injuries, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you can get a double. I guess to your point, if you don't have Nick Bosa, is the Saints defensive line the line that you could pair him with to hit the double digits? I mean, him and Granderson rushing opposite of one another would feel pretty good, and I love having Brzee in the middle. I mean, that you can't lose sight of the push up the middle and how he helps out the edge, and how you kind of start to give him a bit of a dog with too many tennis balls sort of feel. So, this is just something to keep an eye on. Don't break the bank for it, but it's certainly worth kicking the tires on, seeing what the price is, how, like Jake said, how the market develops, and who knows, maybe the Saints and Chase Young form a little alliance for a year or two and see what can be done. If you manage to sign him, I don't think you get worse, right? It's not as long as you don't overextend financially, it's not going to be a negative. So
yeah, and I just don't know what that number is going to be, because you have 2 defensive ends right now that are starter quality, obviously. So you're not going to overpay in top end starter money for a Chase Young. It would have to be in the right deal, because when we talk about drafting an edge rusher, you're getting him on a rookie scale.
Yeah.
So that's the other intriguing part about it. And you would have his services for 5 years. You would have the ability to have him for 5 years. And so how many resources with the Saints cap number do you want to put in one position? Because if you're paying Granderson, who got a new deal last year, you're paying Cam Jordan, and then you pay Chase Young starter money as well, is that too many resources in one position?
Yeah, maybe so. That's a good point. Well, we'll see where it ends up going this offseason, and maybe this is all draft dependent as well, right? If you get a rusher or not in there. All right, when we get back, let's do some munchies with our guy, Chef Michael Johnson. Keep it locked, ODB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Trash Rangers. We love Trash Rangers. If you've seen the video, you already know that the T in T-Bob stands for Trash Bob. Very excited. Did you see me whipping that $500,000 dump truck around, bruh? I was whipping that thing in the parking lot, pulling donuts on the gravel, picking up cans. Definitely did not crush any cans. Operating heavy machinery.
$500,000 dump truck?
Yeah, bruh.
That's a hell of a BBL.
Yeah, bruh. And you know I love them. You know I do. I got a thickness for the thickness. And that's why I love Trash Rangers. You go to trashsignup.com, and in just 3 minutes, all I need. In just 3 minutes. See your pickup days, select your amount of cans, see the prices. So if you're in Ascension or Livingston Parish, you're lucky. because Taylor's not there right now. He's here, so congrats. But also, you're lucky because you have a choice when it comes to waste management. And you want Trash Rangers, the best. Trash Rangers. TrashSignup.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps are held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, welcome back, OTB. Chef Michael Johnson. Wait, my brain's broken, but I saw Chef the other day. Oh, at the LRA, at the golf tournament.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How'd it go?
I'm good. I'm a social golfer. I'm not a competitive golfer.
Yeah.
I was golfing with a company that we work with, and I did okay. My golf game is, I hit enough good shots to play again. But I don't hit, there's a 6-pack of lost balls somewhere on UC clubs that have my name on them. So
yeah. I buy I just go and I'm like, give me the cheapest box of balls you got.
Yep.
And then I'm just hoping for one shot at minimum that the scramble plays. And if it's a good day, maybe even 2,
I mean, I'm either good, I'm good for playing. If everybody else hits really crappy shots, I'm good to be the guy who slaps it down the middle.
Hell yeah.
My iron game is pretty solid. Yeah. Putting game is okay. By the end of the day, I was putting them in the hole from 20 feet out.
Oh,
but my I can slap the ball pretty good and get it down there. But I have a Happy Gilmore hook, man.
Chef, before this segment, I confessed, well, it's not really much of a confession. I think everybody knew it, that I have a sickness for thickness. Do you as well?
I'm not sure what we're talking about here.
I'm sorry. I meant in terms of steaks, in terms of like a big ribeye.
Now, where are you talking about, Chef?
What's the correct? Yeah. What do you think about here,
You
Chef?
think we're
Come on,
talking about here at 9:17 in the morning?
Honestly, when you said it, my mind went to steaks. I just I'm kind of turned. I'm just kind of ate up like that.
What is the appropriate thickness for a ribeye, though, in your mind?
Like inch and a half, something like that. It grills really well. You probably push it to 2 inches. I've actually had like a bone-to-bone ribeye for Father's Day before that was like a 40-ounce ribeye that I sat and gorged myself on one year. And, it was a big, thick cut of beef. And that's the most beef I've ever eaten in a sitting.
I think that would be a sickness for thickness right there, Chef. You taking down a 40 ounce there? Choo, bruh.
Yep.
That's like 40 inches.
Kind of like... Moving on.
Hashtag Munchies. What's your favorite thing to season braised lamb with?
I like to put like some cherries in there. I like to put like a hearty broth in there, veggie stock. The cherries, if you get like the tart cherries, it adds a little tartness to it, man. Maybe if you don't use cherries, I'll throw orange segments or even mandarin oranges in with my lamb. The acidity helps open it up a little bit, but yeah, I like to put some fruit into my lamb stew for sure.
Hashtag Munchies. How do you enjoy your scrambled eggs? I like to have lots of salsa on mine. That comes from Mark.
Yeah, I do eat sour cream and salsa both.
Yeah.
And actually, I put sour cream in my egg in the liquid egg.
Yeah.
Or the eggs, and then make them. And I like to undercook them a bit so they're shiny and look a little wet, and let them cook. Let them finish cooking on the plate, and then I hate eggs that are like a brick.
Anytime you get brown on there, you probably
if there's a dryness on there, they're not good.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like eating the kitchen sponge. You know what I mean? It's like, so I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Dr. Seuss, the story Green Eggs and Ham. You know the story behind that?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't know the story.
So the story about Green Eggs and Ham, he was a military guy. Dr. Seuss was a military guy, and green eggs indicates overcooked eggs, right? Like they start to smell like sulfur. They start to, they literally start turning this like greenish color. So it was really Dr. Seuss Green Eggs and Ham was really a poke at his military days at how poor the food was, which is kind of interesting, but. I can also tell you from personal experience and interaction with the U.S. Army that the Special Forces guys have been here and looked at our program and collaborated with us to, build their program up to performance kitchen as well. So they're not to talk ill of the military, but back in the day when Dr. Seuss was in the military, that's what he was referring to was the food in the canteen.
I mean, you can appreciate more than most when you're feeding hundreds of thousands. Like Special Forces, that's a bit. You could probably be a bit more high quality and nutritious.
Yeah, and it has
but
to. I mean, the U.S. Army will accept people, like just about anybody into the main grade of personnel. But when you get into the Special Forces side of things, I mean, you're talking about well trained, high performance human bodies.
Hashtag Munchies. Is Chef worried about the asexual cheese situation? So, Chef, earlier in the show, we were reading about some headlines where apparently brie and another type of cheese out of France are in danger of going extinct because too much selective breeding has made the fun guy asexual. Doesn't sound very fun to me. Have you put any thought into how to get this fungus horny again?
Well, if it's from France, I figure it'll figure it out. What a place to be. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
What's your reaction, though, when I tell you that brie may be going extinct?
I don't know. I'm not going to share my entire views of asexuality or whatever, but it's an interesting idea, that the mold is doing that. It's perhaps been used for too long, or that particular spore has been used in a certain manner for too long, and it's genetically changing or hybridizing or evolving even, to where, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thing. Food is an interesting thing. It's a shame to know that we have the possibility of losing Brie, but I think that there's probably mold spores out there that I suspect that they're using their own homebred spores potentially versus like wild occurring spores.
Yeah. These are produced. These are mass produced.
And that doesn't surprise me. When we try to control the things that are by nature, typically, the Isle of Dr. Moreau comes to mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sincerely, I don't think that it's our job to be messing with that stuff. And at the expense of Brie, I think that we could probably put some more work into finding those spores naturally and finding a resource that is more sustainable than breeding it its own and then suffering the inbrededness of the spore and it going asexual. So I don't know, that maybe it sounds crazy, but that's where my mind goes.
It's actually a way better answer than I ever would have fathomed.
Way better than we could have given.
I was just trying to make,
just trying to pop
horny
off this
fungus
joke.
jokes, and that was great. Thank you.
Nice. Well done. No surprise, though. Ask Chef, frying my fish ahead of time, what's the best way to keep them crispy and not have them lose the batter?
Oof.
If you're dry battering it with or running it through flour, putting a little bit of cornstarch in there is always going to help keep some crispness to it inside your flour. If you even go like 30-70 or 50-50 even, like cornstarch holds its crispness better than does flour. So, and not only that, if you're frying it, you want to keep some air underneath the fried product. Like, get you a roasting rack or something to set underneath it and let the grease drip down into a paper towel from there. Don't let it sit in the grease; it will make it sog. Even keeping it in a low warm oven. You're not trying to continue cooking it, but the heat is it will help maintain the crispness. We have what's called a crisper here, and it has perforations in the pan underneath, and it cycles warm air through that, up and through it, and it's like a convection oven, right? It just kind of blows warm air up through the fried food, and it maintains the crispness longer. So if you use that psychology, if you have a drip pan in a warm oven that it is maintaining up off of, you're not baking it, but you're trying to maintain the crispness for as long as possible. And warm heat is going to maintain that longer than, saying, putting it at room temperature and letting it sit in grease absorbing back in.
Hashtag Munchies. Chef, do you add anything unique to your crawfish boil? Do you buy the kits? Do you make it purely from scratch?
Yeah, I do not buy kits.
Yeah, I figured not.
I have on multiple times here over the past couple of years put quartered. I tried it whole first, and I didn't like it as much. I will quarter a pineapple and put it in there.
Ooh.
And I really love the sweet and spicy contrast of the spice going into the crawfish boil and the pineapple. And believe it or not, I buy these called John DJON John mushroom cubes, and they'll turn your crawfish boil brown as mud, but it's a black mushroom base. It's a black fungus base, and it just, it makes it really wonderful, man. Some people are not into mushrooms in their boil. I absolutely love them. I love the flavor that it brings to the broth, and I most definitely will put some of those John cubes in. And it just, I don't know. I've had old school Louisianans that, would never change their boil for the life of anything, eat some of those crawfish and be like, damn, that was top notch.
What's the most you'll pay for crawfish? We were talking about that earlier, Chef.
We are beyond it right now.
Yeah.
And listen, I love
what's going on in that
farmers.
situation, Chef? Speaking of thoughtful answers, I wanted to what do you think? Is there a solution here? How's this all work?
The crawfish will come back. I think that they have burrowed down deep because of the dry spell last year. I don't think that the crawfish are gone. I think that they will return. We've had a wet had a very wet winter season. So, most of the crawfish farmers that I've talked to are confident that the crawfish will be back. The seasonality is just kind of wild right now. I mean, we had an extreme season last year with the drought. And, with that drought, the crawfish they don't always die. They will burrow in and go deep and, where the water is. And so, it takes time for them to recuperate from that. I have to take the crawfish farmer's word because I'm not a crawfish farmer, nor am I a crawfish, so I don't understand all of it. But everybody that I've spoken to says, that they will return, and the wet season over the winter has definitely helped. The next season has potential to be incredible. So I've not lost faith in it. It's not like the crabs of Alaska where nobody knows where the hell they've gone. The crawfish farmers seem to understand where the crawfish are, that they have seen this before. It's just an extraordinary circumstance. And so
when you say they'll come back, do you mean next year or
next year?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we still go ahead.
I think we will see some late season crawfish here. I do think we'll see some late season crawfish. I do think that we'll see them, come out at the thing about it is a lot of crawfish farmers, they cycle their fields, right? And so, in the off season of crawfish, they'll grow rice, and then the off season of that, they often grow beans, in order to add nitrogen back into the soil for this, because crawfish actually draw quite a bit out of the soil as well. They consume a lot of nutrient out of the soil. Yeah. You would think that some of the molting and stuff adds too, but they're living creatures and they need nutrient as well. And so if you have a good large growing season of crawfish, you need to add nutrient back into the soil. And so that's why a lot of farmers grow beans and they till it back in so that it helps add nitrogen back into the soil.
So we still don't know where the crabs are from Alaska. They're still disappeared.
They killed the season again this year. It's a real mystery. A lot of people believe that they have died and starved to death.
Water's warming or something. Is that the theory?
Yeah, there was a lack of food for them. That the water warming kind of that left them. Their food mass moved away because of the heating of the water, and either left them starving and dead, and or left them moving. And the thing is that the scientists don't believe that crabs can migrate that far.
Yeah,
they don't feel like they. Yeah. Now I don't know. I think that underwater is a complete mystery. I don't think human beings actually know what the hell's going on under there.
Fair.
I think scientists try to take their most educated stab, and I can appreciate that. But I think that, when it comes to living creatures, I read an article the other day that a whale that was thought to be extinct showed its face, and we haven't seen it in like 50 or 100 years. And so, what goes on underwater is not to be understood. It's as foreign to us as the moon is. And so, I haven't lost complete hope of it. I just think that, you've been fishing before, brother. There's days where you go out and you don't hit anything.
Yeah.
And you just make you scratch your head. You can put your head under the water with your goggles and try to figure it out. But all these water bodies are connected. They could be underneath the ice mass up north. I really don't know, but I sincerely hope to find some answers soon. It is frightening that the crabs are missing.
Rare gray whale, extinct in Atlantic for nearly 200 years, spotted near Nantucket. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's cool.
200 years. My bad. Yeah.
Wow. Very educational munchies today, Chef.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I started by trying to get you to admit a love for thick thighs. So thank you for putting a nice spin on this. You have a great week, Chef. We love you.
Likewise.
Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you guys.
Later, brother.
Bye.
Chef Michael Johnson. This is pretty crazy. 200 years this whale was thought to be extinct, and yet here it goes, showing up. To Chef Johnson's point, man, I want a big old crab right now, though, dude. Just dip it in a bunch of butter. Ooh.
He did such a good job of explaining the brie cheese situation because
I
didn't know how to I don't think I explained it well because it didn't make sense coming out of my mouth. But the way he explained it was spot on.
Also, I thought more of a
with no prep.
I was expecting more of a panic. Right? He's born of French cuisine. Chef is. It's where he got his training in. The French love cheese more than anything in the world. But he was kind of taking the bent. I was getting that like, well, when you try to play God, this is kind of what you get.
True.
Like Jurassic Park.
That's 1,000. That's what I was about to say. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
100%. No. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in the best way. Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
In Jurassic Park, life finds a way. And if you're going to upset the order of things, and sometimes there's going to be consequences therein.
All I'm saying is I don't think Murphy, Sam, and Jody are talking about brie cheese
No.
or anything of that matter.
They might be talking about Kate Middleton, though. They might be talking about Kate Middleton. Maybe not. We'll see. Still no Kate Middleton. We don't know where she is. Speaking of BBLs,
where's Kate?
Where is Kate? Free Kate Middleton.
Free Kate.
Jake, get your people in order here, dude.
Yeah. She is
that like,
nowhere to
like
be found.
English
Yeah,
soccer?
because you like English soccer. You like the UK. Get your people in order. They
got rid of her.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at what happened to
country
Diana
in the
back
UK
in the day.
do we think did it?
Look what happened to Diana back in the day, and now suddenly it's happening to Kate all over again.
Where's she from, Kate? Where's she live? Like what part of the UK?
Wales?
I have no idea. That's what I'm asking. Like,
Well, they met
they
like
live in
college.
Buckingham Palace, dummy.
Yeah.
okay.
No, is she from Wales?
Yeah,
No,
but
I'm
she's
kidding.
like
I don't actually know.
the what do they call it? The Duchess or the Princess or whatever of
Do you still
wherever.
live in the palace if you're a royal? Do they still live in there?
They have like other houses, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they have country estates, but I'm saying like
they all live in like different estates. But
Okay.
but I think that like Charles and Camilla do live in the palace.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
She is from Berkshire, England.
That's what I was gonna
Oh
guess.
yes, Berkshire. One of my
Oh, is it
favorites.
Berkshire?
No, I
No,
don't know.
it's not.
It's not.
It's Berkshire, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Berkshire is
Oh,
the grocery
doesn't-
store. up
I
in
don't know. I'm not
Berkshire
British.
sounds so
but-
good.
The Princess of Wales.
Is
Somebody
it
in the chat
Donaldson
said
Bill or Donaldson Bull?
Well, because what's his name is the Duke of Wales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Wales. That's my
This
bad.
is real riveting stuff we're doing here, guys. I think you're right. Murphy, Sam, and Jody. They may have talked about Kate Middleton, but
Not
they
like
didn't,
this.
They didn't get into the depth of.
Not like
I
this.
think she's like the Princess of Wales. I think he's like the Duke of Duchess. I don't know.
I didn't say I said
okay.
that definitively.
Okay, we might
I
not
said
have-
she is the Princess of Wales because he's the Duke of Wales.
We might not have clarified things here, but I also want to clarify that if you're up for best radio personality, it's not personalities.
Right.
So who's cheating here? Not us.
Right.
Go
Which-
to
go
225. What is it? 225.com?
That's the 225.com and vote T-Bob for best radio personality because, I mean, if we're talking best radio personality, nobody does it like T-Bob Abear.
Thank you,
And it's
Alonzo. That's
just
so kind.
T-Bob because he's
Right.
a personality, not personalities.
Right.
Although you do have multiple.
I already voted. T-Bob.
Taylor? No, you got to say what Alonzo did. You got to say I'm the best personality.
Oh, he's all right.
Oh wow.
Shut up, Taylor.
You're not helping the case.
You're
Do you
so
want us to win or
You're
no?
so constantly disappointing. All right, when we get back, let's get more OTB coming up next. We'll probably never win anything thanks to Taylor.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coleman Roof. Go to ColemanRoof.com. Not you, Taylor. Coleman doesn't want your business. Anybody else is welcome to go to ColemanRoof.com. Coleman Roofing and Construction, the most complete, the most reliable, the most respected, the best roofing company in Louisiana. And I don't use any of this lightly. And especially not when we talk about complete, because it is, I tell you every day, it's any level of job, a giant commercial project, small residential, they got you. It is anywhere in the state. It's anywhere in the Gulf South region. It is any type of roof. Certified installers for all major brands, all major types. And it's not just the roof. Interiors as well. Tree falls in the house, they rebuild it all. During all this insane rain here recently, you got water damage on the inside. They do your drywall, insulation, everything. Coleman Roofing and Construction.
It truly is a one-stop shop, and they're throughout the state of Louisiana. Go to the website to find the number that is going to fit your area, and that website is ColemanRoof.com, ColemanRoof.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Yo, Jake here from my friends over at Community Steel Company located in Gonzales, Louisiana. The local place you can turn to for all of your metal building needs. Notice I said local, not Houston, not Dallas, not Atlanta, but right here in Gonzales. Visit them at their brand new state-of-the-art website at communitysteelco.com or pick up the phone and give them a call today to answer all of your questions on your metal buildings, roofing and sheet metal, and any other steel needs you or your business need at 225-647-2020.
I've been doing business with Luber for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 9.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I love that Alondra has like was doing like a sort of like a classic rock thing. And then as soon as Jake thought about Cisco and Drew Hill, his horniness just keeps poking through. His R&B-ness.
I just don't like that.
Damn. Why are they making love no more?
You don't appreciate the early 2000s R&B like I do.
No, I definitely don't.
I know. I mean, it's my sweet spot.
It's cool, man. I have a new song that I like that I keep playing for people, and nobody likes it.
The one you played yesterday?
No, people actually seem to like that song.
No,
that one's been pretty well accepted. It's a different one that also has a lot of saxophone.
The one you played
in it.
yesterday's got like a Laney kind of. I don't know if you know Laney, but it's got a
Laney.
Laney feel. It's a band. Then half are from LA, half are from New York, and so LA, NY, Laney.
Laney Wilson. Yeah,
I did think that's what he was saying.
I knew
for a second.
Taylor's ass was going to do that. I knew he was going to do it.
Why aren't they making love anymore in the show or in the song? Do you know?
I don't know. Things just happen.
They're just grown apart.
It's grown apart.
You're just going through the motions. Damn, baby number 6 incoming. I mean, if you play Drew Hill, that's a risk you run, dude. That's what we're saying. Play for them fun guys. The New Orleans Pelicans right now. Where do the Pelicans play next, Taylor? But Christian Clark is a great write-up in The Advocate today, kind of chronicling the Pelicans' rise. They are in sole possession of the 5th seed. They're playing great basketball right now. They're 7-3 in their last 10. And one of the key elements of this season has been them becoming finally a modern NBA team in that they can shoot from the outside and they can shoot consistently. Now, they don't make the most threes per game. I think they rank 17th there. But right now, currently, your New Orleans Pelicans, 5th in the NBA in three-point percentage. I think they're knocking on the door of 40%. And that's with a Trey Murphy, your best shooter, that struggled for the majority of the year. Yeah, they're at 38.2% right now. Trey Murphy was at 34. He's now at 37 after this recent run in which he has seemed to have broken out of his slump. You have CJ McCollum with the best of his career shooting 42%. I don't know Ingram's percentage off the top of my head, but it feels like he's probably 38 or something around there. And then obviously you got Jordan Hawkins every now and then. Who am I missing? And then Herb Jones. And then Herb Jones is over 40%. So for years we were complaining about, like, you play these teams, Jake, and everybody seemed to have 5 guys that could shoot. You did not. You have finally arrived at that place, and it should come as no surprise that you're having the season that you're having. What they maybe don't get as much credit for is this is a top 10 team defensively as well. And that was on display the other night, and that continues to be another key element. So they finally have combined that outside shooting with the high percentage efficiency and paint presence of Zion with solid defense all around. That is a winning combination that can win in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we're sitting here, and there's more things going for you than against you. And years past, we've been talking about, yeah, they've got A, B, but, man, C, D, and E are just so far away, like you don't even see them. That's not what this team is. This team is a more complete team. I mean, you had Big Perk go on yesterday on the McAfee show, and he said the Pelicans are his sleeper team in the West. Like, they're starting to really get some momentum. Why are you making that face?
Because Perk ain't still I'm happy for him. I'm glad to have him on board, but he still ain't donated. He went back on with Impatient Bull Chris Connor on Spaces a couple of years ago because they had a Pelicans debate and Perk ended up being wrong because the Pelicans did good or something. And he said that he was going to donate to some charitable cause, and he publicly said he did, but I don't think he ever did. But whatever, that's a weird Twitter drama hole. But so Perk said he was their sleeper?
Yeah. Because they did, like, when you look at what they do well, compared to like some of the deficiencies they have, well, the good that they do outweighs the bad now.
Yeah.
And that hasn't always been the case. In fact, it just has not been the case. And so if they stay healthy, right, and having guys like Jose stay healthy off the bench in the playoffs, he feels like he is going to be a big piece. Certainly Trey, he's had some knee issues, meniscus, other things, keeping him healthy. Like, you need the totality of the roster to make a run that we think that they are capable of. And this seems like a loser mentality, and this is not typically my personality, but even winning a playoff series would feel massive for the Pelicans.
I don't think that's a loser mentality at all, dude. I think
for me to think.
I think that, like, you're coming from the perspective of somebody, though, who's been a part of programs and teams that have been, knocking on the door of championships, right? Like, if you're at an LSU, the goal is natty every year, right? It has to be because you've seen. But if you're at Nebraska right now, your goal's not natty, right? It's a winning record. It's going to the bowl game. It's winning close one-score games for once in your life. Please, for the love of God, give the fans one. So for the Pelicans, no, I think that's a completely acceptable goal, and I don't think that's weak-minded. And then if you do that, what I want to see next year is improvement, right? Like last year, you had back-to-back winning regular seasons. So first off, making the playoffs, like not being in the play-in is a great stepping stone. If you said you win a series, that's even better. And then you build off all that going into next year.
Even like not getting in the play-in portion of the playoffs
is big for this team.
It is big. Again, because they have things that in the postseason can win you a series. They have points off the bench in bunches. They have a defensive specialist that can get under the skin of your star guard.
True.
Right? They've got a guy in Larry Nance that is a veteran player that can be a big off the bench. Like they have
Najee
Marshall.
They can play big and small between Jonas and Larry. They can go whichever direction they need.
Exactly. And they have Marshall who can be, if you need a playoff enforcer, like he can be that guy.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, we need you to take one for the team, Najee. You might get fined, but we need you right here in this moment. He's a good basketball player, obviously. But they have things that are going to bode well in the postseason. But I think not making a play-in, avoiding that, and setting up a situation where you can say, okay, we're in the postseason. We have a series coming up. We can plan as a postseason team and not fight for our lives in the play-in.
Coming up, let's close the show. A little Ask the Bench. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com. Brandon Barton's been in this game for a long time now. Back in the day, his moms used to make drapery. Right? And so Brandon's kind of watching. He's growing up. He's watching get to the college. He's like, you know what? We're going to do this thing. We're going to go for it. And so in the 90s, Brandon takes it over, makes it a full-time business. And, well, as they say, the rest is history. He starts out pounding the pavement, building up on Swequity, and now they are your experts. You want outdoor kitchen shades. You want interior blinds, whatever you need, window coverings that are going to not just increase the aesthetics of your house, how it looks, but the functionality. Because you don't realize the depth that it goes to, the interplay of the sun in your home. Brandon does. He's the expert. Have him out of your home. Be blown away. K to Z Windows, KTZBlinds.com.
Go to that website today and get that appointment scheduled. They're going to come in, know your space, learn your space quickly, and they're going to order it. It's going to be there quickly. KTZBlinds.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
It was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
Oh, give it. Be my sweet
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Pat and y'all, welcome back. Member of La Familia, Tyrese, bringing you back here. Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Curse Light, Vizzy Hard Seltzer, and Blue Moon Light Sky. Citrus Sweet. Man, I just had a question 2 seconds ago I wanted to ask the room, and now I don't remember what it is. I
Must
hate
have not
my
been too
brain
important.
today. You probably are not wholly wrong about that, but oh well. Jake Hester, Casey and JoJo, or Drew Hill?
Ooh, great question. I'm going to go with Casey and JoJo. I love Drew Hill, but Casey and JoJo has some of the all-time R&B bangers.
Ask the bench, does anyone in the studio have a playlist to share on a streaming service provider? I do not.
Y'all didn't even answer my video I sent in the group
say,
chat.
What video?
The last guy's answer was a really good
Spencer
answer.
Strider, maybe the best pitcher in baseball.
What video?
They said Spotify. You're the worst.
It was Spotify versus Apple Music.
versus Apple Music, and they asked the Atlanta Braves. 7 said Spotify, 7 said Apple Music. So maybe Alondra and I aren't in the minority like y'all try to make us sound.
You think we are, we're not.
And Spencer Strider, who's a stud,
he made really good points.
Yeah, and honestly, like most of the people that said Apple were like making better points. Like somebody else said something else about, oh well, I'll stand by this. Like I'll argue you all day, and then he was like, no, the playlists are so much better. All that, like he went after
it's true.
Music, yeah.
Bad day for Spotify.
I mean, I could share a few playlists if y'all have Apple Music.
Yeah.
I shared a playlist with Jake.
You did?
Yeah. Because we both have Apple Music.
Y'all sound like y'all doing a lot of talking. Just say Apple Music's better.
It is.
Okay. Whatever you say, dude.
No. See, we're even like, I think
Whatever
our
you say,
point is
dude.
like, it's not like y'all act like it is.
What you mean?
You
like
think
y'all
we're
act like we're
like-
dinosaurs because we
right.
have Apple Music, and you've got a Major League Baseball team with 20-somethings saying Apple Music.
Hey, the one I used, it was only 2. There was only 2 for YouTube Music, so I'm not. I'm
did
the
say
odd
that's
guy
right.
out.
Shut up, Taylor. Y'all are dinosaurs. That just tells me that Spencer Strider's lame too, dude.
God.
Ask the bench.
Don't be the person that only thinks the thing that they do
What do you
is
mean?
the right thing.
Obviously, my music streaming service is the best. What are you talking about? I have a lot of brand pride when it comes to supporting the corporation that is Spotify. Huh. Yeah, no, I don't.
He does.
I don't.
He does. He's all in
I
on
don't care at
Spotify. He shames us off
does.
there. Like, it's.
As long as y'all just admit y'all have an element of green texting, which is ironic because Apple has
No,
blue
all
texting.
of my,
How, though?
all
You
of my
just
texts
had-
are.
But then Spotify's green.
You just had a ton of professional athletes in their 20s say Apple Music.
Bro, if baseball players are your allies?
Oh, now.
I mean, I don't know. Dude.
All right.
I'm going to get Jay back
Yeah,
on the
get
phone.
Jay Johnson on the phone.
Whoa. Shut up. Nobody told Coach Jay said that. Okay,
I'm telling
relax.
him.
And I mean on like a, whatever.
You're telling me Gavin Guidry's not a dog out there?
I'm going to tell you to go to mmrgrp.com and get a career, Alondra. It's time to get out of this lame radio game, okay? You're done. You want to travel the world?
Yeah, I
You want
do.
new and exciting opportunities? You want to go check out the MMR Group, the largest industrial contractor in the nation. Ignite your career today. Looking for talented individuals to join the team. And for over 3 decades, been headquartered right here in Baton Rouge, but with offices all over the globe. So if a tailored path for professional and personal development sounds good to you, coupled with outstanding benefits and a dynamic culture, whether you're a student, seeking internship, a seasoned pro, or just starting out, MMR offers a variety of positions just for you. Build your future at MMR. Apply now at mmrgrp.com.
Do you know who sings that song we just listened to?
Yeah, La Familia, Tyrese. Fast and Furious. I only know that because I heard you say it during the break. I would have had no idea. Spotify's better enough.
Apple Music for life.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.